All right, welcome everyone. We have got another very special podcast guest, friend of mine, a Brazilian close to my heart. You know, my wife Brazilian, my man's Brazilian. He's one of the top poker players, one of the biggest content creators in the game. An amazing, amazing guy. Felipe, thank you for being here.
That's my pleasure. Absolutely. Very nice to be here with you, Jeff. Admiration, of course. It's very big. You're one of the guys placing, doing content for the people out there. Something that's very valuable. Taking care of the game, and that's something I respect a lot. So it's
Well,
my pleasure to be here.
Well, yes, thank you for being here. It's mutual. The respect is mutual, and coming off a good time, and we have a lot to talk about. And I always love when it's. I love doing podcasts, but I love when it's people that I respect and know well as well, because it's kind of like a catch up. And
Shit.
these days and age, it's crazy time. And also, as you know, congratulations on being a father. I know you and Natalie are. How old now is your daughter?
Oh, congratulations to you as well.
Yeah, we're daddy. So I'm saying it's hard now.
Yeah,
It's hard to keep up with life,
yeah.
daddy life. It's tricky to get in extracurricular other than streaming. So yeah, how is being a daddy, and how old is your guy's baby?
Yeah, my daughter just turned one on the first now, October 1st.
Luana, right?
Luna.
Luna. Okay, I have a cousin from Brazil, Luana. That's her, but it's like means
Yes.
moon or similar to. Is
It
it?
means more in Spanish.
Okay,
Yes.
very
And
nice.
yeah,
One.
it's
Okay.
a variation of the name. And it's been a true blessing. It's been like we're very happy. She is like the light of this house. There's no day that we're sad over here. Whatever happens with life or work or anything else, she's just a happy baby. It's insane how she's always smiling. And unfortunately, during this COVID time, it's hard times, especially for the family. So my family, they were not able yet to meet my daughter.
Yeah.
So that's kind of tough. And I mean, I feel mostly for them because I know how much they love her. So they see her every day, of course,
Right.
over the live calls and the videos. But it's just been a tough time now during COVID. But I actually, one thing I would like to say, it's like I'm very blessed, man, because this most of the people are really affected by COVID, and I have the opportunity to. I actually had the plan to stay at home and take care of my daughter, so I didn't leave my wife at all while she was pregnant. That was my plan. And
Okay.
after the baby born, my plan was to be at home as well. So it really doesn't matter, or it didn't matter if there were like huge live events or whatever. I wouldn't be going to play anyways.
Right.
So my plan hasn't changed. Only thing is like this family stuff.
That I will say this with having a child, it is sort of like FOMO in a way too, because I remember when my son was born in April of 2019, and I missed the World Series for the first time, other than I went out for like very short pockets. But I remember you kind of feel FOMO because you obviously want to be with your child and have that experience the whole time, but you also don't want to miss everything. So it's like in a way, like you're saying, it's kind of like almost like, all right, well, you're forced to just be at home and be there, and you would be maybe anyway, but it kind of everything else sort of is paused. So it's like, all right, well, I'm not missing the World Series this year. I'm not missing this and that. And it's almost again, you don't want to say it's like good timing and it's terrible in the world and it affects so many
Exactly.
negatively. But for our industry and what we
Exactly.
do, being able to stream, congratulations on your big win. I got last Sunday, I think you had over a
Appreciate
$200,000
it.
score online, which is pretty incredible. I mean, that's as we know, that doesn't come every day, being a streamer
It
playing
does
online
not.
poker. So that's
Yeah.
pretty amazing. Congrats on that. But yeah, like for us, it is able to kind of be in our own zone and work and create and do what we love. So I think we're very fortunate in that respect. But before we dive into your whole career, so much to talk about. I want to ask you about the score because it's fresh, it's hot. We had already planned the podcast. This isn't like Felipe hit a big score. Let's come on. No, we had our set podcast, and then I was talking Sunday night. We were saying like, oh, by the way, I just hit like a monumental score online while I was streaming. So tell me about that. What did you win? What was the buy-in? What was the tournament? And give me the whole, set it up for me.
Sure. Well, first of all, I have rediscovered myself going back to streaming and playing online poker.
Hmm.
That wasn't my goal before the pandemics. Okay, so I kind of reinvented myself. I said, okay, so I'm gonna be at home. I love doing this. I did this in the past, but now I'm gonna try and do this for real and contribute with my community, which is amazing. So we started January, pretty much streaming. We didn't miss any week. We pretty much streamed during the series, maybe every day of the week, like 6 out of 7, sometimes 7 out of 8 days. And we did not had a successful WSOP. We had WSOP running on GG,
Hmm.
despite of hitting two final tables, final table on the 10Ks, final table 1K, but it didn't quite get there. And then GG started this new series this Sunday. It's called the Bounty Hunter series.
Hmm.
And I was excited to play one of those events because it was the biggest bounty I ever saw online, which was a 10K bounty.
Yeah.
So, and I decided to play that one on stream because that's pretty fun. You
Yeah.
knock out somebody, make like 5K, 7,500, and you you keep going. It's like, and one thing that I love about the software is that you can sell shares over the client.
Yeah.
So that's pretty cool because the fans can buy shares and they can play along with you over the stream and cheer and send the good vibes and everything. So I know that's a tough, very tough event with 1 million guarantee, like 94 runners in the event. So it's not very popular for selling,
Yeah.
but still the community likes to have a sweat, right?
Yeah,
They like,
give me an idea because I obviously I think I believe you might have done something with Stake Kings before. I'm very involved with that. I put action on there. People love it. It is a great tool. The
yeah.
fact that I will say GG is the first to the punch out of the major sites, getting the stake that within built in the site. It is a very cool feature. And how did that go? How much did you put up? Did it sell out? How much did people able to get of your action in that one?
Yes, that's a very nice question because like we just play with it, to be honest. Like every day of every Monday of the week,
Hmm.
we put up whatever we're playing, no markup.
Right.
It's called like no markup Monday, no meat Monday,
Hmm.
where we try to make people conscious about what's happening with the world. So we play like some documentaries or during the stream,
Hmm.
and they also can buy whatever I'm playing at zero markup. And so that has been a lot of fun. So during the High Rollers week, we won the 1K main event. During the GG series, we won two events of the GG series playing live.
That's
With they had 50% of it.
that's
They
sick.
had 50% of it.
That's the
But
best.
this one, that's fun, right?
Yes, very good. I love that. Yeah. And
Yeah.
give me the good news. Tell me. You won 200 plus. I'm rooting for the community, but I hope I hope
Yeah.
it wasn't. How did they get it? Spill the beans. What did they have? What did you give out?
They had they had 15% of that.
Still, it's a nice, big, very nice score for them.
Yeah, they can. There's a new variation of the tool that you can buy 0.01% of a share, which means like when you play a high buying like a 10K, everybody can participate and
Yeah.
have a small share. So there were a bunch of stakeholders
Yeah.
for a lower amount, which means that every 0.01, right, which is a one tenth, was worth like 220, right? Something like that.
Yeah. That sounds right. Yes. Um.
So it was actually very very cool. And the situation is that you know that as a fellow streamer, and will put yourself on a way higher standard than mine.
I don't
You
think, I don't know
do.
about that. You're
Yes.
pound for pound. I mean, you're coming.
Nah.
You have a 20K following on Twitch, which is nothing to sneeze at. I know you haven't streamed as much either, so you're coming up very fast, and that's the growth is it's I think, I hate to interrupt you, but it's a Twitch streamer in me, but it's true. The thing about Twitch, which is so hard, and what people don't understand, I have so many people who will message me, hey, I want to do Twitch. I want to get set up. What do I need? What's the equipment? What do I get? I'm just like, whenever they start asking me all this stuff, I'm like, oh, you're asking the wrong questions, because you have to dive in. And the people that do it and they try it and they maybe set up, and listen, there's nothing wrong to set up a stream, do it once in a while, play a series. But the guys that are going to show up, build a consistent following, do it day in, day out, put a lot of work into it, it's not many. It's not for everybody. And that's why I think you see a very small amount of people that are able to kind of be consistent and break through, because it's something, it's inside of you. You have to really have a strong work ethic and follow through, because it's not easy to build, because it'll dissipate if you stop for a month or a year. You can't just like come on once every month. It doesn't work. So again, credit to you. I appreciate the compliment, but yeah, I would put you in the top tier of streamers and people and growing very fast. So you guys got to check it out. I already put them up. I put it up here, but you can follow them along, and I think you have a schedule and everything, and put it on there. Again, it's Felipe Mojave on Twitch. But I'm going to try to not interrupt you. I can't help it though. I get excited. I'm passionate. I'm like half Brazilian, man. I get fired up. So go ahead. I don't mean to interrupt you, but go ahead.
No, that's great. That's great. Conversation's going great. That's better, even better.
Yeah. So,
I mean, that's true, because like you have putting a lot of hard work into this. What the advice you gave everybody that wants to be on Twitch couldn't be better, and I could do any better. Actually, you need to decide if you're going for this. If you for this, you need to dive in. That's the right approach. And the fun part about this win is that we play from the first to the last hand on stream. So I think that this is very valuable for the community, because I know I reached a lot of stuff as a poker player. I play poker for like, let's round it up, 15 years for real. I mean, paying my bills with poker for 15 years, let's say like that.
Yeah.
And this is an event that everybody wants to see. You're playing against all the big names, and people want to know decisions you're making, what these big players are doing. So this is fun to play live. There's a lot of exposure as well. So you need to be very much okay with that. As my goal is to share knowledge, the little bit that I know, to everyone, so everybody can understand better about what poker is. So as my goal is that, so I'm happy to do that every time. So I don't have a problem with that. So that was fun to sweat from the first to the last. Was a very difficult path in that event. We were short during the bubble, like last in chips, literally. And managed to win a tournament where 5 left. We had 9 blinds, and a chip leader had 120.
Wow, those are sometimes the best, and I think that's like one of those things. It's a valuable lesson, chip in a chair, and you just never out. And it's such a crazy that's such a crazy swing to think about. Go from bubble to win 200, but really, if you're focused and you play the right ranges, play the right spots, it can happen. I had a similar stream Sunday where I was 17 to 17, 1.7 blinds, 16 cash in the 5K, and I ended up getting final. I didn't win it. I got 8, but like same thing. It's like it's not usually the guy who's the shortest on the bubble that bubbles, and there's still a lot of strategy down the stretch. And like you said, it's playing from the first hand. You see a lot of late registrations. This is something online. It's a bit of a problem too. People late register, and the guarantees, and how to the reentries. These are all kind of issues. So the fact that you went wire to wire, start the first hand, get to show it, get to see how people it's okay to play deep and maybe advantageous, because you get people make some mistakes or aren't playing as well early is very cool. So tell me a bit about the schedule for you then. So you are a father. Your wife, who is also, we've had dinner before with all of us. My wife's Brazilian. She's from Germany.
Cool.
You're Brazilian. She's also a ambassador of poker, a well-known poker player. We'll give her some love here, and I think we'll have some more baby shots. There it is. Look at this. There's
Cool.
some baby shots and some and a poker player, but now more, I would imagine. Mother, is she getting to play some poker? Does she still do? Does she get? Do you guys rotate? Does she stream? Like, how much is she getting to play? Or are you just kind of assuming the role as the breadwinner and poker player? Because you guys are like a hybrid. You know, it's rare.
Yeah,
Not many poker power couples, but
true.
you're in that short list.
True. That's a very interesting situation, actually, because whenever I started to stream pretty much every day, now this past week I've been streaming like 3-4 days a week, so it's still a lot. I know that she wanted to play as well, and she's also streaming right now sometimes, and I wanted to empower her and make her feel comfortable by I came to her by a couple months ago, and I said, "Hey, yeah, we're just the same here, right? So if you want to play and if you want to stream, and just name the days you want to do that. So then I'll take those days off, and it'll be my time to take care of the baby. It will be my time to take care of everything else. So we're doing this. So we're rotating, and it will be like selfish from my end man, she will do anything for us. She will do anything for this family. Like, this woman is amazing. So that's why it's I could never do that to her, especially because she loves poker very much. She's a terrific poker player. When we talk about poker here at home, I never put myself over her. Never. She's like super smart, and she plays really, really, really well. So we're always discussing poker at the same level. We're discussing poker at the same level, and it's interesting to see her development, because she wants to keep going. She wants to keep playing, and I'm trying to do my best to support her on this. So she started to stream, and she started to play a little more again. Of course, the baby's still a lot dependent on her, because she's still breastfeeding, and of course some other things. But we're kind of like making progress. We're making progress, and that's really awesome, because I want to see her shine. I want to see her shine because I saw her winning the live events. I saw her crushing the cash games,
Yeah.
because she's a former cash gamer, such as myself. And I just want to see her play more. And I know she's
What's
excited.
her Twitch stream? We got her up here on Instagram. What's her actual? What's her?
Yeah, she just started a new channel. While we're having all this conversation, then she started a new channel. It's called Hertz Damen, which is HERZDA. Yeah, Herstamen Club. That's the top one, which is amazing, because that's a project for women in poker. So she brings up all this influential, inspirational woman in poker. So that's the description right there, like supporting each other, connecting, helping women, and that's a beautiful thing to do. You know, most of the time she's not thinking about herself. Like here in the family, she never thinks about herself. So, and so instead of starting back from her own channel, which she had good viewing, etc., she decided to start a new one and do this project with the ladies, and they're doing just amazing. To be honest, they had like a mental psychological coach the other day. They had like Kristen Bicknell for a coach the other day. They had like all this amazing woman in the channel, and such as other women playing as well. The channel is it's not only hers. The channel is for the whole female community. So other girls are streaming there, which makes it very, very awesome. So I just want to support her. If she wants to go this way and play more, I'll be the person try to like help her. I
Yep.
mean, I don't have I have a lot of goals still, but I'm like very down to earth. I don't it doesn't. I mean, it matters more to me to see her happy and doing whatever she likes,
Right.
and sharing this life with her has been a blessing.
How, yeah, absolutely. How old are you right now? You're 35 no, a little 37 ish.
I'm 37. True.
37. That's right.
I'm 37. She's
Um,
34.
how when did I wanted to say you guys went fairly quickly because I remember when you met or you were an item. I think my wife and I had dinner with you, and you might not have
Yes.
been married or I mean you. I don't think you were either engaged or not engaged yet. I don't think you were. I can't remember now. Maybe this was like at a Hard Rock tournament in Florida a year and a half or 2 years ago, maybe.
True.
And my wife was like, they're gonna get married or they're gonna have a baby. Like she knew you were gonna be together. Like, and I don't think you were like.
Yeah.
It was pretty quick.
Well,
How fast? Give me this trajectory. Yeah.
first of all, your wife is amazing. She's an amazing person.
Well,
You're
thank you.
very lucky guy.
I agree. She's Brazilian,
Yeah.
man. She's got that.
You have good people and bad people from everywhere. That's
True.
not the case.
You're right. You're right.
She's a not very nice person.
Thank you. Yeah, no,
Yeah,
she was excited. I told her I was having you on. I'm sure she'll probably pop in the chat here. She usually comes
that's
in and
nice.
says hi, and hopefully we can all get dinner again.
I'm
And
gonna get there too.
my son might make a play at your daughter at least to hold hands. He's gone for it
True.
before with babies. He's not afraid. So we
That's
have
nice.
a good time. But yeah, tell me the timeline because you guys did go fairly. It went quick is what I remembered. Like you guys really got going and just sort of chemistry was there. So tell me about that.
But there's a point in life that you know what you want, you know, and then when you find what you want, why would you hold back? We actually never needed to have this conversation. When we got together, whatever exactly the words I told you, it was in my eyes, in her eyes, and just connected and said, "This is it." So this is it. So we went for it. And when we were together having the dinner in Miami, we were just dating. It's been like, I mean,
Yeah.
2 months and a half, like 3 months maybe.
Okay, that sounds right. Yeah, I knew it was
Yeah,
pretty quickly, but that she saw it. She saw the twinkle in the eyes, and she called it right away. And I said, "Yeah, I mean, I don't know, but it's yeah. I mean, it's like people date, things happen. It's hard to
yeah.
really know. But how? And then when did you propose or get married? How did that go from there? So you,
That's the fun part right now, actually, because I proposed to her this the same day we won this tournament this Sunday on October 12th.
wait, what? Oh, you proposed
Exactly.
it just now.
No. That was October 12th, the 2 years ago.
Ah, okay. I was gonna say, wait. I was like, I
Yeah,
thought I remember.
no,
I thought you were married
yeah.
yeah.
I
Okay.
mean, same date because
Wow.
that's also Children's Day in Brazil.
I saw that. I did see that. I knew it was Children's Day.
Yeah,
One of the things I saw post on that, and because I know it's important to you, and that I did know that part. But wow, so that was the day you proposed 2 years
yeah,
ago. Wow,
2 years ago.
powerful day.
So
Did you know it? Did you know going in Sunday? You're like, I'm gonna win a big tournament. Did it just feel special?
Man, I won't lie to you. I was just getting smashed, to be honest. I think I was playing good. I had a good mentality, but I didn't had too many good sessions lately,
Mm-hmm.
to be honest. So of course I was excited. One more day. Every day is a new day, is new opportunity. That's the mindset coming into to a poker session. And we had a good session on Saturday. Like got runner up in one of these 500s, and I told everybody we're gonna get better tomorrow. And somebody in the chat said, "Hey, buddy, second place can only get better if you win." I said, "There you go,
There's room. That's the only room left. So you
there
did.
you go."
That's amazing. And I want to ask you about that because we spoke a little on message just around this time. I was playing with you on the table thing, and I want to ask you about that because do you feel we've both played around the same amount of time, a long time. we've played online, we've played live. Live is one table.
Yeah.
Online, you have an option to do, crazy. You can go a little nuts. And I'm sure you've experimented with an insane amount of tables. I've done it too, just pushing the
True.
limits, seeing what works. What do you believe is optimal in terms of playing tables? Because on Twitch, it's adding a lot of tables. If you play one table, it's like playing probably 5. So like when you're playing 4 or 6 or 8
Yes.
and you're doing on stream, your stream's going to either suffer, your play is going to suffer, because it takes a lot of energy and work. And I don't think I don't know the exact formula. I would guess it's like 4 tables. Maybe someone said more. It depends. So like, how do you balance that? And have you made any adjustments on the amount of tables you play with streaming?
That's nice. Talk about it. Probably like everybody wants to know about it too. I'll say what I think and what works for me. Not necessarily what's right.
Yeah.
Um, when I started playing poker, actually, my biggest score on a tournament online was like over a decade ago. It was like a W Cup event in 2009. 2009 was the time when I was an online pro, where I was playing online, where I had most volume, where I had were focusing on this. Actually, my schedule in 2009 was like I was gonna play online first. Then after playing online, if I had a good session, I stay in. If I have a bad session, I go to the live casino play cash game. That was my my schedule at the time. And so at that time, there were no streaming, right? There was no streaming.
No.
So I remember that I tried and I played a tremendous, massive amount of tables, right? But when it comes, I mean, like a, a lot, like 18, maybe 24 tables sometimes.
Yeah.
But like when I when moving to streaming, what you said is truth. When you're playing one table, it feels like you're playing 3, 4 tables for that one table. Because if you want to do it correctly, if you want to do it Twitch correctly, you need to acknowledge your audience. You need to connect with the fans. You need to read the chat. You need to engage in polls, conversations, etc., and so on. And that's absolutely not possible when you're playing that many tables. So we had an experience this week, this year. I mean, when I started streaming and playing online back again from January, where I was trying to do an exercise and see how many tables I could handle while twitching, and I got to the maximum number of 12, and was really difficult, really difficult. I got lucky that day that we had 12. I won the High Rollers Week 1K playing 12 tables, and I remember that I had like some sort of like 8 tables left with the final table happening over Twitch, and I was lost.
Yeah.
I was lost. Like the other tables, they were like completely ignored. So I had to focus. So that was a bad experience.
Right.
Luckily, I focused on that event, won that event, so that turned out to be nice. But it wasn't optimal. So from that day on, I set up something on my stream where I tell people like, "Hey, this is poker day. I'm gonna interact less, and I'm gonna play 10 tables, and I'm gonna show you guys all hands on the live hand viewer." So sometimes I do that, but most of the time I'm 5 tabling. Most of the time I'm 5 tabling, and whenever I'm playing something like big, like I play the 25K on stream, right? The WSOP 25K on stream. So I said to everybody, this is one tabling. I'm just gonna open this table and I'm gonna focus on this tournament, and I'm gonna have fun with you in the chat, and I'm gonna do the one table. So I think to be honest, the GTO nowadays will be from 4 to 6 tables, I would say.
Yeah, I agree with that. I think there's something special about one tabling, and Jason Somerville, who I don't know if you were watching it all, or because for
Yes,
me,
yes, yes.
he was the kind of obviously the original guy on Twitch, but then sort of when I started watching, there were
The
like Kevin
boss.
Martin, Jamie Staples had come on, and they were sort of getting big, and they were one of the early guys. And I watched Jason as well, but his thing is one table, and he literally will one table. He'll pull up, all the website stuff. He'll show stuff. He'll put up clips. He does his stuff. He doesn't miss the chat. And like, there's something to be said about that. Not to mention, it just seems like your stream's going to be a lot better, or you're going to play a lot better. But like, obviously, if you get cooler, you get unlucky, you lose a big flip or whatever, right? You get deep. And then if your stream just has nothing developing, it's kind of tricky too. So,
Exactly.
you got to kind of have a balance. So I don't know. I think probably like 2 to 4. I think 4 is probably like the perfect number for Twitch, just because like you could still very focus well. Plus, you're going to see a chat. Once you get in like 6 plus, like it gets especially if you have to go to like multiple screens, if you're playing like different screen stuff, you have your chat here. Cause like I've looked on replays, in a big stream or something, I'll go back or I'll watch some stuff and like just take a little look at my stream, and I'll be like, wow, I'm just missing like chat. Like there's guys who will say like, I miss donations, you miss like hosting even sometimes. And it's like, that's just unacceptable in my opinion, like to miss these type of engagements and things where it's just, you realize you're not fully present. And also, to speak on the game, like there's so many situations, like, cause there's guys like Mormon, there's guys like, you could name a dozen or 30, 40 just world-class players that, they're programmed. Like Mormon could probably play 24 tables perfect. They got a system. They know, like they move it, they color coordinate, and they're just like built like that. For me, it's, I for sure think my play suffers at a bigger level. And I think obviously that makes sense. So very interesting and good to hear that you've got kind of that tackled. What is, again, we got a lot. I didn't put we're giving away a ticket. I'm going to give away in the chat. I didn't put, out of respect.
Let me add something. Can I add something to that?
Yeah.
Real quick. Actually, you said about Jason Somerville's name. I mean, that guy is amazing. This guy is simply amazing. Well, he started back in the day. He was inspirational for everybody,
Yes.
Including myself. I love that guy. And I need to write here and address his name. Actually, the whole Twitch community from poker it's awesome. When you mentioned Kevin Martin is an amazing guy, James Staples amazing guy. I mean, I lately my 2 favorite streamers include yourself and Ben CB, because there are people that are doing a lot of stuff for the community, giving a lot of opportunity for people that starting. So these people will be playing you, will be playing me, will be playing other people in the near future. So you're taking care of this ecology, this poker economy. This is amazing. Plus, you guys have no fear. You guys play the big events. You show your face. You show your cards. You don't care. That's freaking. You guys are the bosses. You guys are the boss. That got me inspired to do the same. Because when I open up a 25K and I'm showing my cards, you know how the chat is. Sometimes a little bit toxic. Sometimes it's a little bit like people like, what you're doing, and people that have like nothing to talk about, but they still talk about. So you need to be like very okay with what you're doing when you're gonna show yourself. So that's why I think it's amazing. I said this over my stream the other day. That's why I'm repeating that you and BCB doing that. I think it's awesome.
Well, I appreciate it. And I think, again, it's something that's what I think you would agree that, we're at a level where we've played poker a long time. We feel very comfortable. We know we're winning professional poker players. But at the same time, why it's so fun is because on Twitch, like, we're going to be more experienced, have more knowledge than probably 97 or 8% of the players watching. But also realizing that we're also learning, that's why I love it so much. And the game changes all the time. You look at the years, people were 3-betting a lot, then they were just calling. Then there was, early on people just limped, and then it was 4-betting, 5-betting. I remember in like
that's why
years, it was like 6-7 betting was like a thing.
Exactly why I coach.
Yes,
because I'm learning. It's a learning process every time. I'm always like the police for my own self.
Yeah.
Because this is amazing. And in the end, like people want to train and get content from who? Like from people that are like hiding, or from people that are like playing the big events online. they have a lot of theory, they have a lot of coaching programs, and they show in live how you do it. They're actually winning the tournaments. So I want to learn from you. I want to learn from BCB, because you guys are showing me, not only telling me like this is good, this is bad, like you're showing me that this
Right.
is good, this is bad.
And also
So, like,
being honest where, you know, especially in my case where I'll say, I'm not sure. There's certain spots where I'm like, man, this is close, or I don't know, and I need to review it, or it's like tricky for me too. And that's okay. You know, I think that's
of
a
course,
big part
that's
of it,
totally fine.
to
Yeah,
be
that's totally fine,
vulnerable. And
because we commit those mistakes without nobody acknowledging, nobody seeing, and then you don't get attention for
yes,
that. So develop a lot of your game by exposing yourself, and by being okay that you only need to get better a little bit every day to achieve your goals. You don't need to be like the best poker player in the world. You just need to keep going, keep getting better, keep learning, keep evolving.
yes, I completely agree. And yeah, thank you. And again, I do like to watch and sweat. Like, it's one of those things though, too, as a content creator, as a streamer, it's not like the first, you know, especially with kids now, like when you're done streaming or when you're done whatever, there's some after time where you kind of, you know, you go through, you look at some clips, you look at some notes, you go through Twitter, whatever. But you know, the first thing you do when you're done, it's like you want to see your child, you want to spend time with your wife, you want to, you know, relax. So I do try to see your stream, and some people I'll see on, I'll check in, but obviously it's like one of those things where, you know, you're not able to just watch all the, you're already doing so much stuff, you're on your own, you can't see as much. But you know, again, I do follow along and make sure I try to watch it and support your stuff as much as possible. And I think it's great. We were on the same team. We were Poker Stars.
Yes.
I want to talk about this too before we kind of dive into the next thing. And I did put up we do have a retweet. We're going to give away a $55 ticket. I didn't put, out of respect for you, I didn't, you know, I know you're on another team at the moment, but I think this
does not matter.
Yeah.
It does really not matter. And to be honest, I like to talk about that because, like, yeah, keep going. I'll talk about.
Yeah, no, I was saying I didn't tag Party Poker in there, you know, for just we're doing a giveaway, but it's all good because I personally believe, I think it's funny where I think some people have a misconception, or sort of, they like to make a thing about, oh, like, you know, Negreanu left this, or I go there, or you were at one team and another. But if you look at sports, which it's very similar to, the only difference is, you know, this isn't in soccer. Let's take American soccer. There's, you know, MLS, like 25 or 27 teams, and then there's 32 NFL teams, 32 NBA teams. What trades happen? People leave. People do 1-year deals. People do 8-year deals. Look at LeBron James. Like, people move around. In poker, there's not many teams. There was one big team, Poker Stars, which we both had the opportunity to work with, and you know, it's obviously gone through different phases and ownerships and things. You know, so at one point we were both there, and I think it was safe to say that was the greatest place to be at the time. I have nothing but gratitude and happy to be there. Enjoyed my time, enjoyed everyone I work with, and I have nothing negative. You know, I'm not gonna say stuff like it's just like at the given moment, you make your best decision for you and for what you believe is the company or who you want to align with at a given moment or thing. And those things change. And like, obviously I don't agree with everything Poker Stars did. I don't agree with everything Party Poker does. I don't agree with everything every site does. Like, if you work for Ford Motor Company and you're an employee, or, you know, you work for them and you're let's just say you're the head of marketing. If you don't agree with the president or CEO on a point or two, you don't just quit. You're not just like, all right, I'm out. Like, I don't agree with like the way you're doing, you know what I'm saying? So it's complicated, but I think the point being, there's 888 GG, Party Poker, Poker Stars. You know, you throw on ACR, like talk about maybe Global Poker. There's some other sites, Bet36, I don't know, whatever, Patty Poker. What's the one? There's a couple others that are like have some market share. And Ultimate or Natural AGG. You know, these are. I think it's like there's too much thought about, oh, he left this, or it's like he's, you know, it's like, no, we're a community, especially as players. We want the best. We want everything that, you know, we want competition. It was not good for about a year or two with Poker Stars. They had all, you know, all the biggest Twitch streamers host another. The other sites were kind of not getting the exposure. Poker Stars could do whatever they wanted. And, you know, it's a business. So like, yeah, it's going to be more dominant for the site. So like now there's Party Poker as a stream team. GG's got a team. There's some, you know, 888 Tonko is huge, and he hasn't been streaming as much. He was over at 888. You know, your wife was at 888. There's an economy. People have options. People get to see different things. There's different formats, different structures, different things. So I think it's really good for poker. And although we're not on the same team, I don't think that, fundamentally, that's what I love about Rob Young and Party Poker. He doesn't really care. He talks about the other sites. He promotes it. He says we're not the best in a lot of areas. We're getting better, and whatever. So anyway, I go on a rant, but I get fired up. But yeah, we're not on the same team at the moment, but we have the same goal and mission. And that's my rant. So
You know what? I would say, like, I totally agree, and I'll put up like this. We are on the same team. We play for team poker.
yes.
Okay. So that means same team. And if we don't have this mentality, the poker game is gonna die. We don't want the game to die. We want the game to grow. That's why most of the time I'm making bad decisions for my own money while playing on stream. I could be earning more. I could be playing off stream. I could be whatever, you know. You're helping the community and you're engaging with the community, bringing and building, creating, and helping more players by doing that. And that's a big thing to do because I know I do that. It's very tough. So that's why I respect all other pros, all other sites, all other streamers. And I don't really care as well. Like, I mean, lately I couldn't like host you for just a time zone thing. When I'm online, I'm probably like see you online at the same time. When I'm offline, I cannot find you. But so many times I host on my channel, my competitor, other people, people that I send all over my crew over there, they're selling some other stuff. Let them be happy. Let them sell. Let them the economy move. Because I think this is incredibly important. Like one thing that I think it's really important is to support the actions from other sites as well. I always say this on my stream. People ask me, why you not playing on Party? Why you not playing on Poker Stars? Because my answer, I have my hands full. There's so many events here on GG I'm playing on stream. I cannot play too many. But give me a great event. I'm going to talk about it and I'm going to play. Well, the Party did the 10K event, WPT. I play. I said, everybody, this is an amazing event. You guys should play. Support the site because they're doing great stuff.
Yeah.
Like Rob Young is an amazing guy. He does a lot for the poker community, has a sense of poker community. We need more people like this guy in the poker industry.
Yeah.
Right.
I agree completely. The same thing. That's why, like in our meetings and with the Twitch, the stream people that are involved making decisions, as well as the streamers, we are allowed to, I back in the day at Stars was like, no, nothing else, to kind of, do just play this. Like here we have an option, and that's great. So like I played some GGWSOP events. Even the other day I streamed, I played, there's some bounty stuff going on. I had a couple of those going on my stream, I think yesterday or no, 2 days ago. And same thing. Like the reality is on GG and Party Poker, there is enough events where you could just play those. So if you're sponsored by it, makes sense. But of course, when there's $1 million guarantee, $2 million guarantee, super value tournaments, like, yeah, it's nice to be able to have that option because as poker players, it's also for Twitch, they want to see instead of playing a $100 $20K guaranteed, if that's the next best thing going, if you're playing a 320 $400K guarantee, it's better for everyone, better for the streamer, better for the viewers, better, for everyone. So I saw actually I think it was called Around the World. It was for card player. I saw Rob Young on, it was the other day, Daniel Negreanu from GD and a few people, they were talking about it. I would love, I don't know how to do it exactly. I've thought about it. And again, not really trying to take more projects on at the moment, but it would be pretty cool to have like some sort of union or community where the not necessarily the owners, because like Rob and those guys can sort of talk amongst each other. And I think they do, but have like, 2 to 4 or 3 to 5 from each site, a major site, you can opt in and have like a voting and the sites vote their players. And then they, kind of come together and have like a monthly or a quarterly meeting and basically say, here's what we like, here's what we don't like. Hey, reentries, cap it. Let's add a minute on the break. So it's 6 minutes. I think GG might do that now. Make a little extra, like these type of things that, if it's like a vote and people at least present it to the leaders of the site as the community, the top players or, the influencers or the brand ambassadors are able to sort of come together and say, hey, this works. Like, if Pads from from Party Poker, and you got Negreanu, yourself, Fedor, other guys from GG, 888, Dominique, and Natalie or Tonka. These guys come together and everyone's like, hey, this works, this doesn't work, or like, hey, this is what I think. And then maybe I might think of it or not know about it, and I'm like, oh, that makes sense.
That's
And
amazing.
now if we come as like a whole and we bring, I think it's a lot more powerful. So I don't think it would be that hard to organize, especially if it's like quarterly or every 2 months. But that's just something I think that poker does need. It's an important time. There's a lot of things happening. There's a lot of big decisions. No HUDs, real names. Re-entry. These are all big issues that sort of need to be addressed. And I think it's something that would be good if everyone kind of gave uniform, because sites are scared. Like, oh, if I take a chance first, it could hurt our bottom line. And other sites are sort of waiting to see if it's going to happen, even though they know it's good. So it's like, it's a bit tricky. And this is very important. It's a critical time, I think, for online poker in the next year or two.
I agree. Sure. I agree. Starting from the streamers, I always say, like, go support your favorite streamer. Doesn't matter if it's another company. People ask me this on stream. I say, go subscribe, buy the guy stuff, do play on the site, sign up. Because this is important for you, and this is important for the industry as well. And when it comes to this organization, it's very important for poker. I would love to see that happening. And if I can help in any way, obviously, like you mentioned, the name of Pets, I think that dude is simply awesome. I don't always agree to 100% of the stuff he speaks.
Yeah.
But I have so much respect for the guy. He does a lot for the industry. Always put himself out there, speaking about his idea. That's really, really cool. And so I have a lot of respect. So we need to go to a way in poker where the game can only get better, where the game can be more responsible, where people have more information. Why do I say that? Especially when I'm addressing to my native audience, like in Brazil, because my stream is mainly in Portuguese, but we do trilingual every day. So we speak English, we speak Spanish, and so we have a lot of people coming from other countries as well.
Mm-hmm.
And the penetration in poker for Brazil is still very low. So if you talk about poker to the common people in the country, most of the people would say, I don't know this game, or I heard about this game, but I don't know how to play. So you need to give information to the people for people to coming into the game. They come in the right way. They come to have fun. They come to learn the game before they come to the game thinking about this is going to be my job. I'm going to make money from this. This is it's just not the way it is, and the way to go forward, in my opinion. So on my stream, as you said, we're playing the top events, the most popular events. Of course, we hardly ever play like $100 event or 20K guarantee on stream. We try to play mostly the big events where people want to watch, people want to see. But we're doing this. I call it, I don't even know the name, but what do? We elect to one day of the week, and we say, I ask the audience, what do you guys want to see me play? What do you guys want to feel comfortable playing? People say why don't you play Zoom for the 5-10 cents buying, because that's my limit. I say, let's do this.
Right. Yes.
Let's do this, because that's awesome to give them this experience, share some poker tips over there, because that's what they're playing.
Yeah. And I think that's true too. And you see a shift in the sites and sponsorship and content and creators and people that are doing these type of things, because ultimately watching someone play a 25K buy-in, yeah, it's super exciting and it's going to be great. But ultimately the majority of people are playing $22, $5, $10. So that's true. It's like, they also do like to kind of see how you play it, see how it's different, and they can relate to it. So I think you can see that in the biggest streamers, in general. Like there are very successful streamers that have great numbers and consistency that don't play high stakes. They play $20, $30. Even Kevin Martin, I remember when he got signed by PokerStars, when I think he got signed. I can't remember when it was like 17 or around the time I can't. He got signed and people were kind of outraged. Like I remember there was like I stick community like this is crazy. Like he plays $20 buy-ins. How is he a sponsor? That was the
Yeah,
thinking back then because their model was Jason
I will put
Mercier and signing the high roller guys and anyone who's won a tournament.
I'll put that guy over any of the big people, big
Yeah,
names that play whatever, because he is a natural.
yeah.
Kevin Martin, the kid is a natural. He's like very good to his audience, you
He's a
know,
great poker
very
player
good.
too. I don't know
He's
if
an
you
amazing poker player too.
his
Yeah,
live results
I'm
are
not.
crazy. He's
Yeah,
yeah, I've been on a team with him on Stars. I was with him on Party. He took a break. He kind of goes in these like he's funny because he'll like go all out and he's so motivated, hardworking, just a great guy. And then he'll
exactly.
like kind of
He's
burn
a
out.
genuine
Like
person.
I'm over it, and then he's like gets back in and he goes, and it's
Exactly.
great. But he's a great streamer, very entertaining. He's a natural
Yep.
streamer, and exactly that though. Like that's the guys you want to be promoting and streaming, and people can relate to.
And
And
this is amazing for poker. When
yeah,
you look for a poker ambassador, you need to look for people like Kmart.
yes,
You know, people that are gonna bring new people to the game, people that are gonna respect the fans, you know,
yes,
people that are gonna share knowledge for people to not get hurt, for people to understand better what poker game is. One thing that I try to do a lot on my streams to explain what even poker is, for people to talk about poker to their relatives, to talk about poker to their families, because it's something that happens in South America still, that people still think sometimes pejorative about poker game. So as you know, still to date we have no casinos in Brazil. We have no law for those games and whatever. So like we're a new country to this. So it's very important to share this knowledge so people don't get into the game and don't get hurt. They get to the game to have fun, to get entertained, such
yeah.
as they go to the movies, such as they do any other activity.
Yes. Well, that's gonna let's dive into Brazil. I've had a few Brazilians on. You know, you're one of the most recognizable faces in poker in Brazil for sure. Tell me a bit about what what the current situation of Brazil, and obviously COVID sort of throws a wrench in just everything sort of crazy and pause. Let's just take
Yes.
January this year. Let's just go there for a just to make it simple in terms of where poker is development wise in Brazil. How is it becoming more pop? I know it's very popular. Like, is it
Mhm.
online? Like, tell me a little bit of the regulations live and online because it seems like to me kind of gray, sort of like
It
US
is.
was pre Black Friday. Like it's allowed. I know people, the big part of the market's on the online sites, but is it legal? Is it gray? And give me the difference between live and online poker in Brazil right now.
Yeah, one thing that was really nice and really happened in Brazil is that the poker was really well organized by the confederation, by the poker confederation, which means that this is attached to the government. So there are laws and there are authorizations to run all the live poker events. And so for that, big ups to everybody working in the Brazilian Poker Confederation, which has been like also an example for other associations around the world. So live poker is allowed, which is really fun because you allowed to play poker legally, but you cannot play any other game.
Mm,
So the poker games are allowed. So I know that this sounds, when I talk to any North American friend or Canadian friend, they think that's really weird. They cannot play any other game. You can only play poker, and it's legal.
right.
About the online situation, as you said, there are laws trying to be passed forever. You know, including like casinos, including sports bets. That didn't happen yet. So we are still sitting on the gray area,
Right.
right? But it's not illegal. It's completely not illegal because there's no law saying this is not possible. So
Right.
about the community, we're meaning. I mean, poker is growing really fast, right? And if you check the situation right now, where the big series online and the number of players, I think that Brazil may be on top of the list right now, which means that we have a lot of online pros, very good poker players. So when you check like a top 10 online list from Brazil, you see that everybody like is really good at poker. But I mean, the amount of players is awesome. The amount of players, it's really good, and this can only get better. As I said, that the share of the population that has information about poker, it's really low. I think if you speak about poker, if somebody in North America, what's the percentage of people that understand and know about poker? I would say very high,
Mhm.
like 90% maybe.
Yeah, I'd say yeah, I mean, maybe more. Poker's like part of
Yeah,
the culture
yeah,
DNA. People have like poker tables that don't play in their house just for like kind of like it's just sort of like one of those things
exactly.
you just kind
Yeah,
of have, and
and in
it's a
Brazil,
pastime.
you have a big community, one of the largest communities in the world right now, and it's a very small portion of the population. So
Right,
so I think this is only going to get better.
right.
It's only going to get bigger, and as more people getting success in the game, showing other people, inspiring other people on taking this path the right way, this is really important. Hopefully, we're gonna get lawsuit that we're gonna like make it everything very clear and organized, which is absolutely necessary. Absolutely necessary. But nowadays, I don't see the why nots. I don't see the problems as everybody is allowed to play, and I know that a lot of people actually uh, move to Brazil to play poker.
And
Uh,
I'm looking here over your career, and again, you looks like so live 2008. Your first one's actually kind of crazy. It's in San Remo in Italy. Did you win a package, or what made you be there for the first live or the first live cash? How did
this
that
is
happen?
this has actually a super amazing, nice story behind it. If you want to talk about it more in depth, because 2008 was the year I decided to be a poker pro. So I was playing poker since 2005, and then January 2008, January, everything happens to me in the beginning of the year. So January 2008, I decided to play poker professionally. I
Okay,
got offered a sponsorship contract in the past by a site called Best Poker, site from the On Game Network,
okay,
that I have to thank a lot. Every time I have the opportunity to speak, I do, because these people, they gave me the opportunity when I needed, and they saw potential. The first people that saw potential in me, on myself, there were people from Best Poker. So thank you once again. I'm sure you guys will watch this. Appreciate that.
that's awesome.
And so they gave me an opportunity, and they said like, yeah, we want to sponsor you, but if you want to be a sponsor pro and play the circuit, you need to quit your job. I wasn't prepared to quit my job.
What was your job at the time?
Yeah, I used to work in a financial institution. I used to work in a bank in Brazil, and a US bank in Brazil.
Okay, which one was that?
Bank Boston,
Okay.
which became Bank of America.
Oh, really?
Yes,
Wow.
I was a Bank of America employee.
Hmm.
So I didn't want to go anywhere. My life was pretty good. I love to play poker, and I play poker when I can. When I have free time, I play during the weekends. When I get at home at night, I play some tournaments. I play whatever. So I'm happy with that. I don't want to become a pro. So that was actually a conversation in 2007 where most of my friends were going to the WSOP to play the main event, and first time in Vegas. This was 2007. I said, man, I have nothing to do in Vegas. First, it will be really hard for me to get a vacation period at work
Yeah,
because work was massive. It was tough,
for
you
sure.
know. it was tough. I couldn't get away. And second, I don't feel prepared. I don't feel prepared. But they came to me and say like, buddy, you already play better than us. And we're going. Why are you not going? I say, because I don't want to go that way. I don't want to be a poker pro. That was my instincts at that time. So then in 2007, I won BSOP. I won a Brazilian Series of Poker title, playing my hometown, São Paulo. So I was like getting more close to this, like getting results playing with less time. So it was a kind of natural decision when they offered me a sponsorship. I would. I was a good player. I was a profitable player. I was making way more money than I was making in the bank already, playing part time. So it was a natural decision to make this move, as I was going to have focus now. I was going to have more time. So, and they offered me this sponsorship, and the first big event on the sponsorship was the EPT San Remo.
Wow.
It was going to be my first 5K event. So, and I had never left Brazil.
Wow.
So it was. I come from the poor, very poor area, the poor areas from São Paulo, metropolitan area from São Paulo. So I never didn't even think about going out of the country, spending money in international currency, which is like very difficult for us, anyways. So my first trip was with the team for a team group into Budapest. Was like first country I ever visited was Hungary, and then after that they paid me a trip to Vegas. I went to Vegas for the first time in 2008 to play,
Okay.
and my first so I played the Win Classic. There was like a very amazing um, uh, situation for me, and for that time I started the blogs right away. So I remember I went to the Binions, to the Hall of Fame. I blogged everything. It was like I taped, I vlogged everything in 2008. I
Wow.
was like,
Yeah, they're one of the original content. Yeah, you're just yeah, that's awesome.
yeah.
Is that on your YouTube channel or was that before even that?
So look, it's not on the YouTube channel right now because I restarted a YouTube channel.
Okay.
You can see that I just restarted this. I left the interview of Phil there because this is a pretty nice one. And
Mhm.
everything from this, it's just new and organic. Just like it's putting some content out there. I don't think I ever tweeted about or talked about this. I'm just putting content out there and testing it out a new format.
Mhm.
So after that, I went to for a trip to play one series of tournaments, right? To play the PT San Remo and go back to Brazil. That was the plan. So I went to the PT San Remo. I made the final day. I screwed up, played so bad. This is on TV. You guys can watch. I fucked up. Whatever. I was new to poker. I folded a hand I shouldn't be folding. I three bet a hand I shouldn't be three betting. I made so many wrong bet sizings throughout the tournament. Anyways, I
Pretty
was the first.
incredible. I was 700 entries, your first 5K, your first time out of Brazil, and here you are. I mean, were you when you got down to the final day? How many were left roughly? Like, was it 30 something, or was it
I
was it
think I think I think it was something like 16 left.
okay? So you were super. So going to bed that night, let's just say 16. I mean, how excited were you? This must have been like out of a movie. Like you look out,
Bro,
you see 1.4 million at this time, and you're brand new. What are you even thinking? Is this like a dream? Like what? How did you sleep?
man, I was too much of a pro already. That was my problem. That was my problem. I should have been way more humble, way more like down to earth, more seizing the opportunity, and I wasn't. I committed big mistakes there because, and that was actually turned out to be the best thing for me because at that point, if I win all the money, okay, and if I win the tournament, I would end up being a piece of shit. I would end up being like the worst human being on earth. I was not prepared to win all the money at all. You know, coming from where I was coming, that was like life changing money. I'll probably grab the money, quit, or grab the money and
Blow it.
spend it all.
Yeah, it could be a really, yeah. I think about that sometimes. Like I have some close calls for second, even like to be certain times. I believe a lot about this, like where there's a
It's
time and a
true.
place for everything, you know. And I think that,
That's just the truth.
yeah, because
And it,
it's you know, I don't want to get too philosophical or deep, but yeah, realistically, like exactly, it's so easy to say, you know, sliding doors, one thing or another, but realistically, it's all part of the journey and the path. And usually there's a plan and something to do. You see people win the lottery. It's similar situations. See people maybe not ready or they're not old enough or mature enough to
I
handle
used to take, I used to take a bus, two trains, two buses to get to my training spot, or okay, just to get there. Where, okay, when I was working, that I had no car or no transportation, whatever, I need to get walk to the train station, get two trains, walk to work, same way back. I had barely had money to do stuff I wanted. I remember that one of my favorite things was to go to the train station and for 50 cents of Brazilian money, 50 cents, try to imagine that. For 50 cents, you would buy a hot dog, okay, with two sausages and a juice. That was the highlight of my day. Okay,
Wow.
that was highlight of my day.
What year is this?
So
This is like 2006, 7, right? 8, right before you
no,
basically.
a little earlier. When I just for my first year in college, first year I got to work. So my dad, seeing that situation, he worked his ass off, and he got me a car after a little bit, and it was just awesome because people love my car, like some sort of old school, um older car, which which was what we could do because I needed to go a lot of places, you know, if I was going to work and I going to college, whatever. So when I left the country, this was too much money. And if you think about that, 2000, you know what, this 2000, this result, I was the first Brazilian ever to cash in an EPT.
That's
There was
that's
no,
that's in 2008. What's his name? Was the what's it, Gomez? Isn't, yeah, because he won some
yeah,
bracelets and stuff. But this was, you were the, that was the first ever. The EPTs hadn't really, that was like brand new then, right? Was it
exactly.
literally brand new?
Exactly. So I remember that we had social media at the time called Orkut. It was a Google social media
Okay.
for Facebook stuff, and it was just like soccer World Cup. People like on a Friday they stopped their work, they opened the light, they were cheering for me, such as they were cheering for the national football team, and that was like pretty amazing. Nobody knew who that kid was, that there was a Brazilian playing poker or whatever. So from this point of view, I know that poker is a pretty new activity for us. As I happen to believe I'm still young. I have 37, and
You are, we're young. It is.
and
It's,
I think I was the first guy to cash in a tournament like that for my country. This is like this will probably be the biggest achievement of my career, whatever happens.
That's it is pretty amazing. I will say it's I see, I've been to BSOP a few times and I've been to Brazil many times, and I mean the passion for poker, I think it's again stereotypically, but Brazilians are very passionate, very energetic, very positive people. That's my experience. And I can confidently say that, especially in poker, I'd say nothing, the rail, the support, the enthusiasm is just electric, and it's crazy. Like that atmosphere at the BSOP is just something else. Like every time I go there, I'm shocked. People are so much love for it, so much. And I see, is it, how recognized are you? Do you get stopped when you're in Sao Paulo? Obviously at poker stops, because people are in there, and yourself, Akari, Rafi Marias, Zhao
Yes.
Simao, those guys, like people know you guys and people see you guys and they look up to you guys. But like, you get stopped or when you're back, do people know you in Brazil? Kind of like, do you get noticed sometimes or in certain areas? How does that, how popular is Brazil? Maybe give me an idea of, is it outside the door of the convention center? Is it at a grocery store? Like how recognized are you in your area or like back home for poker?
I think that for me that happens. This recognition happens for two reasons. One, it's been a long time that I don't live in Brazil anymore. So, but I often travel to Brazil to host my seminars, to play in the poker event. So many times during the year. But it's been a while where I don't travel there to play because it has become a bad decision for my career to spend time playing tournaments that probably don't matter too much for my career, especially going back to the country and playing local currency. So that's just the truth, right?
That's crazy.
So yeah, that's just the truth, being honest. But I like to make the travel because I love to play with them. It's never about the money. It's never about anything else. So I do love the atmosphere and also the challenge to play in those events that I helped to get started. So the first BSOPs we played, there was like two tables, and then by the time I won the BSOP in 2007, there were only 90 players.
And now this is like before even they had a Hen Mob.
2007, check it out. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. This is outdated.
Okay,
there's so much stuff that's not in there. Like especially the local events.
Right. So you're not. So this isn't your like. This was not your first ever tournament you played live. Obviously, then there was
no. That was my first international tournament. I think I started to get tracked or whatever whenever there was this APT San Remo.
Right.
But there are so many events before that.
Well, I want to ask you about this because it does look like, I mean, so you basically sign, you go pro, or you're involved now, and you're just on the tour. You're over in Europe, and you hit a score. You're deep. You must have been like, oh man, I was so close. Like, because it's almost like the perfect thing, right? Because you're like excited. You maybe realize you could have done better, but you were right there. You want more. It's a great learning experience. You get very second table, right off the final table, but then you go right and shoot over and into a 10K, and you also cash. I mean, that's pretty cool. Like, and then you get a final table. You do get a final table within. This is all in 2 weeks, and so all of a sudden, you've got 130K in live earnings, and you're sort of, is that like officially where you say you're on the tour at this point, where you just like, all right, I'm going for it. This is it.
What happened is, I went to San Remo to play the tournament, and that was it. I was gonna travel back to Brazil, so I got a lot of recognition. That was my first big tournament playing for that sponsor at the time. So sponsor was really happy about what was happening, and he came to me and say, "Hey, in 5 days, about a week, there will be this big event close by here called Monte Carlo. Why don't you go there and play?"
Right.
I was like, okay.
Yeah, why not? We're close.
Why not? And then I discovered it was a 10K, 10,000 euro buy-in. I was like, 10,000 euro buy-in, what do you, man, you convert that to Brazilian money, we don't make that in a year.
It's like 55, 60,000 maybe, right?
Yeah.
It's like
we
4
don't
to
make
5
that in a
times.
year.
Yeah.
So it was like the dream. And then at that point, I had made two really good buddies at that point, which was Jason Mercier, guy that won the event actually, and started his poker career alongside with me right there,
right
in San Remo, and terrific guy, really good friend of mine, amazing person.
Yes.
And after that, and Sam Chartier, a Canadian poker player.
Yep, great player.
So amazing dude, amazing dude, and also being the game for Crusher being the game for a long time. So we went together and we shared a room at the Monte Carlo Bay. Imagine to stay at the Monte Carlo Bay. It was like, man, that old like a freaking Coke. And when you open the fridge and you grab a Coke, I was like, I was getting paid, right? But it was against my principle to
Yeah, it's like
grab a
12
Coke
euros
from.
for a Coke or something, right?
It was against my principles. I would not grab a Coke from the fridge,
Yeah,
whatever.
you're going down to the gym to get a water, right? Like that's yeah, that's the type of stuff, right? It's just like it's too crazy over there. I bet it's a
A
great
water,
spot, but it's so expensive. So
a
expensive.
water and a banana or an apple, something like this.
Yeah. And it's still it would
And
be like a good meal. It's like a good meal and a normal stop. You know, you get like a full lunch or dinner for
always wake up for breakfast because
yeah,
it's included.
that's a good travel tip for sure. All right, well let's because we have so many questions on Twitter, an unbelievable amount of engagement and questions. So I do want to leave time for that. I do want to kind of dive through though some of your career here and some of the early stuff. It looks like you did have really nice success right away. What was ultimately, would you say, kind of going through here? And you do dive in some of the high rollers. I know you've played some 25K, 50Ks, 100Ks, which we share the experience of. We don't play all the time, but they're fun, and when you do, it's really meaningful, and they're big deals. We'll talk about a bit of that, but tell me about your most, I guess, situationally, what was one of the more impactful tournaments for your bankroll, for your career? I see here is your first, looks like, six-figure score to win in Sao Paulo, 10,000 buy-in. I mean, tell me about this one. Was this one, like, what was one of the ones that means the most to you, to get, whether it's because it's in Brazil or the prestige or just the amount of
Yeah,
money? What was some of the tournament that maybe is the most powerful for you?
I was actually my poker career went. I didn't get famous or recognized by being a bracelet winner or by being a tournament champ. You know,
Mm-hmm.
that over my time, that was what got people famous. That's what got people sponsorships. You know, you win a bracelet, get a sponsorship. You're from a nice region where people want to develop. Oh, nice, that helps you. You know, and but my career was totally different. I wasn't the guy that started like binking those massive scores, such as Jason, for instance. He was much a better player than mine from there to get started. That's why he won. But if I win that event, maybe that didn't happen to me. That happened to most of the pros. So my career was built from hard work. My career was built from like being a player, being a poker pro, loving the game, and scoring so many scores until I get recognized. Because uh, yeah, and the stuff I get most proud of it's like I was once the guy that cashed in the most countries. I was once the guy that was recognized as like the most inspirational poker player in the world, having all the people I love in the list, including Daniel Negreanu, for instance. It's like it's mind blowing, to get to that point, like doing being a normal person, being
Right.
a normal guy. So that's what I tell to people. Like, if you want to succeed, and you can be yourself and succeed. You can come from humble beginnings and succeed. You don't need to get lucky for the breakthrough. This is a lie, and probably this is something that we were told and something that we believed because that was the market. But I, I'm the proof that this can happen without following the marketing and the market how it is. So I mean, I started to play. It's something important to be said that I when I started playing poker, I used to play a lot of cash games. So I would say that most, actually, that's the truth. Way forget about the tournament results. I was doing way much better at the cash games.
Mm-hmm.
So that was what got me a lot of fuel, a lot of bankroll to fire in the tournaments. So I was like a big cash game pro, big cash game winner. So I used to just stake myself,
Mm-hmm.
and play the events. So that's what made my bankroll actually. By grinding a lot of hours in the cash games. So when stuff started to happen for me, and for instance, I got a lot of recognition by that year 2008, and such as 2009 I got offered a sponsorship from Party
Mm-hmm.
in 2009, and it was an obvious move for me, you know, uh, getting better, getting bigger, or getting more recognition, wanting to play more stuff, wanting to focus more in poker. Because I, on my first year, I had an agreement with my dad that I was gonna play poker and I was gonna go for my master's degree
Right.
in
That
finance.
that's not easy to do, but that's
Not easy to do, but that was my. But then my first term, and I got instant like recognized or got the best result from my country, so I couldn't go back.
right.
So from that point, I just went forward.
For sure. That's I mean it's crazy to think, like it's just looking now what you know about poker and variance, and one of those things where you go over there and you're flying over and you're thinking in your head. I mean, that moment and that actual run is so powerful, because if you just go brick, 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 which you could play great, you could lose, as we know, it happens all the time. If there's a lot of luck, you could just be out. If you don't cash, you don't have a great experience there. You might be, for whatever, or maybe it would just be prolonged or
I'll go
delayed,
back.
but it could be all
Yeah,
different, really, legitimately, all different. And that is pretty crazy to see.
you asked about the situation in Brazil when I'm able to travel. Like we're popular figures there, but like especially for the poker community. If you go to a mall, if you go to some place, maybe you get recognized or something, but most of the time you don't. But when you see a poker fan, one of the last times this happened, we were in the mall. We went to have lunch in the mall. We're going up the escalator. Some poker fans going down the escalators. Screens. My name starts to going up backwards from the escalator.
That's
So
all.
when you find, so when you find poker people, they people are passionate about the game. That's how Brazilians are.
There's no question about that. I've seen it. I know it. I believe it. I've seen. I mean, just World Series in the final tables, and if there's ever a Brazilian in Vegas at WSOP, Brazil comes, they support. Whether you're a friend of them or just know of them or whatever, it just seems like everyone shows up and is giving a piece of their time and energy for that special moment. I do want to take questions. I see one live here in the chat right now. Jamerson saying, my idol and you, just a simple question, without being able to really see your opponents in real life, what strategies should online poker players use to succeed at the virtual table?
Oh, that's a pretty good question for most of the beginners. The answer to that is you need to be mainly really good fundamentally at poker. So that's what poker online brings. You're not most of the time you're not able to make reads. You're not able to like look your opponent in the eye, get the live feeling of things. So the more good you become at poker, the more good decisions you make. It's what's gonna take you there for online poker. It's just simple as that.
That is, I would say, is a exactly how you explained. It's one of those things that's kind of funny, but online still, especially when you're playing not so many tables, you do get tendencies. You may know the player, especially if you're playing with a lot of the same people. If it's a little higher buy-in, now if it's a lower buy-in and there's thousands of players in the field, you're not going to likely see the same players as much. But still, at the table, if you see showdowns, I think that's one of the biggest things to add to your point, it's like if you're paying attention and alert and you're like, oh wow, that guy had top kicker on the river on a pretty safe board and he checked back, like, so you start
Absolutely.
realizing like little things like, all right, he's not going to do this, and it's just, you get information. The answer is, it's not quite the same, but there's still plenty of.
But when you think about the terms we play, you're absolutely correct. What I wanted to address and what I meant is that when you play like $1, $2, $5 event, and you play those massive fields,
Yeah.
you're gonna be a winner in that field. Not much for acquiring info. You're gonna be mostly making money because you make better decisions than your opponents.
Yes, exactly. You're exactly right. You want to keep it simple, play good ranges, make good decisions, and you should be in pretty good shape in those large fields. Well, I want to touch before we take some questions, and there is a retweet, guys, available if you guys want to get in and a chance at this $55 ticket here. You guys still have time. We have a lot, so we're going to try to cover a lot of those. Tell me a little bit about COVID and where you are right now and how it's impacting the surrounding area. Or is it going okay? And also at your relatives and people in Brazil. I want to understand, because I get bits and bobs of information. Amelia has her family in Brazil. I hear different things. So what is your overall take on what's going on? And so in the two areas, your sort of family home Brazil area, what are people saying? Are people affected? Is it slowing down? Is it a big deal? And also where you're situated, what is it like? So three parts of COVID. What you believe overall, your area you're at, and sort of the Brazil, your understanding of what's happening in your area in Brazil.
Yeah, first of all, I moved to Europe. It's been several years. I think like it's my fifth or sixth year already living in Europe, and then our family, we decided we wanted to live in a great city for raising my daughter and everything. So we moved to Vienna. It's been 2 years that we're living in Austria, and here the situation is pretty much under control. People respect a lot the situation. So there was a huge lockdown in the beginning, especially because it's northern Italy, right, where the first focus of the infection came really, really, really strong. So borders were closed. I think the government did a really good job here by containing the spread of the disease, and meaning that my family couldn't fly in for my daughter's anyways. So but that's fine because we need to be safe first.
Mm-hmm.
And her great grandmother was going to make the travel as well, so that's pretty much impossible for older person like that to make the travel during these controversial times. So I think the situation here is pretty much over control. People can do they're back to normal lives, but with all the care which is needed, which means like some restrictions, obviously respecting the rules, wearing masks, this kind of stuff.
Right. Okay.
In Brazil,
yeah. Tell me
yeah.
about what your understanding is in Brazil and your area and just in general.
In Brazil, my whole family it's pretty much in Brazil. My family is like a big mix where during the Second World War, uh, the woman from my family moved to Brazil. So my great grandmother is from Italy, the other one's from Spain. So they married Brazilian guys. So that's my family background. So and then funny that I married a German woman. My daughter was born here, so the women are all from Europe, and the boys are all from Brazil. Nice. If I ever have a boy, you need to travel to Brazil. That's
true.
And in Brazil, the situation is super complicated. I think it's probably the worst situation in the world. It's what's happening in Brazil right now. I think that that has to do a lot with our leader, which means our president. Our president is a guy that started off COVID. He said this was only a flu, He said this was nothing that was gonna get we're gonna get through this by no time. We can see that he's clearly a genius.
Right. Yeah, he
We
he
can
didn't
see
get
that
that
he's,
one so
yeah.
good. Yeah.
He was like he was up to the situation pretty well on point. Obviously not, and some supporters of the government, they said like, oh, you know what, more people die when they try to chew on something and they die in the ear than
Joking.
people throw
Joking.
this,
Right.
yeah, choking. And that was like mind blowing. So if you think that the government thinks that, how can you care, how can you take care of the population if you're not making the right efforts to take care of the population? So obviously the number of deaths, I think right now it's close to 200,000. If I'm not mistaken, I think it was over 150,000 or
Yeah.
already now close to
Yeah, I
200,000.
think that's about the US as well, as around there, I believe. So it's pretty
Yes,
crazy.
very close to the US. In my opinion, US is also uh, same thing as Brazil, in my opinion, for the COVID stuff.
Right.
And what is believed and everything. So the situation in the country is very, it is lame, because people don't really respect what's happening. You know, I mean, and I now bringing down to the population. The population doesn't respect. Of course, that has to do with the leader, because if that's message, the message you sent, that's what you believe,
Right.
right? So people are agglomerating over the beaches. They're going to parties and doing stuff which is inconceivable. You cannot even think about doing that when you can spread a disease. And if you're young, you don't get affected by that. You affect other people.
Right.
It's pretty much the problem we have about everything in the world. We only think about ourselves. We only think about ourselves. We don't care about the others. And one thing that I learned in life: there's no individual progress. There will be never individual progress if you don't make progress as a group, as a community, as a species. We're gonna we're not gonna get anywhere.
Very,
So
yeah.
so I had a lot of problems in my family, and stuff that people don't know. I want to tell you in respect here in the podcast. So my grandma, 83 years old, she got COVID, such as my uncle, spent time in the hospital, everything. And when a person old like that gets that, and even if he gets better and get cured, as she got, there are other issues such as depression, such as other stuff that will hit a person that get
Yeah.
affected by that when you're older.
Well, yeah,
So
even like stress, anxiety, you start, I mean, if you listen, anyway, if I got COVID, if I knew I had it, I would be a little stressed out, right? You know, like, all right, I'm healthy, I'm young, it
yeah,
should be okay, but still it's stressful. You know, like you don't want to get it. And then if you're older and you're really worried, what is that?
it's my COVID result.
Okay.
It was, I was lucky; it was negative, but I spent 2 weeks in bad shape. Some other flu virus, whatever.
Yeah.
But I spent 2 weeks in really bad shape, and luckily it was negative. But like we don't have the potential to take care of people. You know,
Right.
our health system is flawed. So this is insane just to think. Even if it's not as big as it is, people should respect, because we cannot attend whatever disease this is. We
Yeah.
can we It's too many people. It's too many people for the hospitals, for the health professionals.
Right.
So
It's also very scary because, you know, like this COVID happens to really impact older, sicker people. What if it was reversed, you know? And which is, no matter what, it's bad. What if it was babies that it affects completely? You know, like that, you know, or what if it was young people? And what if there's a mutation? What if this happens again? Like
exactly,
soon. That to happen took 100 years. Look at hurricanes.
yeah,
Hurricanes, they hit, like, doesn't mean it's every 10 or 20 years. It could be back to back. Where, like, what if a new thing comes out next
exactly.
year? So
Yeah.
it's a pretty, and like you're saying, with the people not listening, and this happens everywhere, not Brazil only, USA, other countries and areas that it impacts. It's scary to think people can't respect the rules, wear masks, social distance, do the basics to try to help. And it is a bit scary.
It hurts big time pregnant woman.
Yes.
So it's like it's something very serious. People don't take it seriously because they didn't have anybody infected in their family or a beloved one that died.
Right.
That's the truth. I want to see that happening. If you don't believe in this shit, you know, we were affected. We had a lot of people problems in the family and etc. We suffer from this. So it's a really tough situation right now. When people even ask, like, when's the next live event? Are you excited to play whatever? Blah blah blah. I say I don't even care. You know, I will never hit a live event or step into side of a casino whenever the situation is it's like this. You know, even if it's law approved, even if it's government approved, and you can go out, I won't go anywhere because I need to respect others, and that's how you build something in life. It's by respecting other people because we all live in the same planet. I mean, I believe that well, I believe I'm against animal exploitation. I think that brings a lot of diseases as well. I think that unhealthy lifestyle, it's the problem nowadays. With so many people with dying from cancer or even cholesterol or even um, breathing issues, all caused by this. So I'm trying to make a change for me, for my family, and trying to spread information to other people as well. We often do this on the live streams, do this on Twitch, where we offer information to people to see, like, hey, are you aware of these people or not? We just open videos, open documentaries, starting discussing that. We're not even playing poker, but we're live on Twitch
Right.
addressing issues. One thing that happened yesterday, this was great. What happened yesterday in the channel, I'm very proud of the community. Forget about me here, but think about what the poker community is doing. We opened the live stream, and then I had an idea. I say, like, I'm gonna open the live stream. I put a comment in the chat saying, like, I pay your bill today if it's late and you're having problems during COVID. That's how I opened the live stream. I
Wow.
say, I'll pay you a bill up to 500, okay, if it's late and the family depends on that. You Okay, people start to make donations over the stream, okay,
That's
by
amazing.
so many cases because people needed to vote for the case that needed to be paid. There was one worse than another. It
Right.
was insane. People show up on stream and say, like, I have this problem, blah, blah, blah. I have me? I have this problem, blah, blah, blah. So say, forget about that guy. This is the guy. New guy, forget about this. Always getting worse. You know what happened? We ended up paying 31 bills
Wow.
on live stream yesterday. So
Ranging
that
ranging
was,
from what, up to 500? They were anywhere from like $30 or something, or
yeah,
what?
there were a bunch like 40, 60, but there was also like some like most of them like 250,
Right.
which means 250 you can buy food for a family for the whole month.
Right. Yeah, it's
So we got a bunch of those, and we paid a bunch of like water bills, electricity bills that were like just like due long time.
that's great. Yeah, yeah, man, it just shows you the power of giving. I was watching something yesterday, and yeah, story of it was on a local food place, and some guy who was getting food stamps, and he had an extra $20, after he had all that he needed, and he gave his, like, guys on food stamps has nothing, and he gave his 20. That's like one of the volunteer workers was talking about. It's just crazy because, I think, again, all of us, pretty much everyone here has a computer who's watching, or a cell phone, or is
Yes,
able to, and it's like, it's kind of it's tricky thing because it's always like we could do more, but you try to do what you can because you realize that we are fortunate. We're playing poker, we're doing something we love for a living. We have good,
absolutely.
where we have a family. we're safe, we have shelter, all these things. And yeah, it's a tricky thing. It's like tricky because you want to help, you want to do, but what's enough, or is it enough? And I think it's one of those things where if everyone does a little bit, it just kind of adds up. And you see these like billionaires that people give them a hard time, like, oh, Bill Gates, or these guys only donated 600 million or $1 billion when they have 100. It's like, come on, like,
I know.
everyone does something, and it would change the world. So proportionally,
Exactly.
it's like,
That's
who's to judge
perfect.
anyone, what you're doing or what you're not, but you
Exactly.
should
You
try to
should
do
not
something.
judge. Yeah, you should not judge anybody. And the example you gave, that happened yesterday as well, because a guy had a problem, big time. I don't have it. You don't have it. Most of the people, we don't have the problem. Somebody showed up with a worse problem. This guy showed up on the chat, send like a message that could be read on live stream. And then he says, you know what? Forget about me. I'm gonna help this other person that's more in need. The guy needed help. Then somebody showed up with a worse problem. He found money out of nowhere to help the other person. When that happened, I say, humanity, we're not lost.
Right.
We're not lost. There is hope. And then of course we ended up paying for both of them.
That's awesome.
So everybody was happy.
That's beautiful. Well, we've got a lot of people kind of chiming in here. We did some live questions, but again, if you want to get your question answered, we'll try to get to as many as we can. We do have a $55 ticket we're going to give away at the end. We'll click a button, but let's dive in. Anything else before we start going in? Anything you want to touch on? We covered a lot, and there's a lot of questions. I see questions I actually wanted to ask, so I was waiting because they're actually asked in Twitter. Twitter's great, and we get to see a lot of those. Anything else you want to cover, mention you got coming up about your stream schedule? Any other upcoming stuff you want to hit on before we dive into the questions?
Yeah, basically we're like streaming every week, several times. Our schedule is like we stream 100% of the Saturdays and Sundays, and once or twice during the week.
Okay.
So if you guys want to follow my channels, they're all my name, Felipe Mojave. You'll find me everywhere with that name. And plus, there's a guy in a hat. A poker player is really easy to recognize.
That's true. That's amazing. Well, I guess I said it's right here. We got it on the screen. Felipe Mojave. You can search him and give him a follow, and you can see all his other different information here, as well as his YouTube channel. He's got the Instagram. He's got his own Twitter. Let's see. I'm on the wrong. Okay. This is we'll go right here. So you guys can, again, follow him on Twitter, follow him on Instagram, puts out a lot of content, a lot of different stuff, shares not only poker, but some life stuff and family stuff. There's the Lua is there right there, and some other great content. Looks like very happy baby. That's awesome to see. And let's dive into some questions. You ready?
Sure. Let's go. Let's do this.
All right. Well, here we go. Look at this. It was asked actually live. So we already answered this one about the opponent's cards and being online. What's different? Let's try this one. Who do you think is the best player? Cash tournament, also live online. It could be 4 different players. That's an interesting way of wording. I mean, so many great players, but any ones that stand out at you? If you just had a hot take, quick second right now, who do you feel like you're just like, wow, when you see them at the tables, they're great?
I'll say no name. You know why? Because they're like from tracker poker players. I think there's like over 1 million tracker poker players. If you want, they're like the top 1,000 poker players. You're like on a tier that's just like the best poker players in the world. So there's so much competition right now. So I cannot say that to be honest, that somebody plays better than yourself, right, or somebody plays better than the other guy. I would say like look at the rankings. If you look at the rankings, you see right now who is the best right now. That's fine. Look at the rankings.
Right.
These are the people putting the effort. These are the people making the volume and getting there. These are the best people for me right now. Maybe you can say like, oh, Jeff plays better than the guy which is in the top rank. If that's your choice. Right? If that's your choice and that you believe, but
it is pretty ambiguous. It's very tough to say these answers on stuff, especially now where there's not really live stuff happening. Stuff's been paused. Some rankings aren't tracked on Party Poker. Their real names,
and you don't really know sometimes about people. That's right. What I mean. Sometimes like you don't know how much I study the game, how much I understand the game if you don't talk about the game with me, or something like that. So I know that online nowadays, it's super tough competition. Super tough competition. I mean, and that you cannot name four players and be like fair. I can say favorite players.
Right. Right.
Favorite players.
Yeah. Yeah,
Yeah,
I'm with you. These are very common questions. It's difficult. I like that answer because there is tiers, and I think at some level it's like you're talking about. It's not really like basketball or football and like MVP voting. So it's just like it's a little, and
exactly.
there's more like sections or at a certain level. It's like it's hard to really differentiate.
And plus in poker you can put everybody on a big bowl of winners. If you're a winner poker player, what more can you wish for? What more can you want? For me, I just want to be a winner player and live this life until I die. That's all. I don't want to be, seriously, I don't want to be better than anybody. I don't want to be recognized as better than any poker player. If somebody shows up on my stream and say like that player plays better than you, I say, who is that? The guy is Jeff Rose. Yes, he plays better than me. Congratulations, Jeff Rose, you're a killer. Congratulations, keep going. I don't care.
Yeah.
I just want to play my game. I just want to be better than I was, and make a living out of poker. I'm happy if I pay my bills, make my living out of poker, keep going. That's my goal.
I'm with you. And we did battle on the GPL. There was some good footage of that. You did get me in the heads up though. So
I
until
got lucky. That's
there was some
different. There I
good
got
fans,
lucky.
it's
Only
all,
few events I got lucky. It's like this online thing. When you play like one game against other people. Come on, man. I beat Olivier Busquet in the GPL heads up. Do you think I play better than Olivier Busquet heads up? I
right,
don't play better than
right.
Olivier Busquet heads up. The guy will crush me if we play like 2,000 games. I need
Yeah.
to play for pennies, otherwise I'll lose all my money. So
That's why. I mean, that's why it is funny too online in these formats where you see these heads up. Even like Antonio and Helmuth. There's a thing online. It's fun. It's great. But like
I mean, it's amazing.
it's
It's
great.
amazing. It's like the amazing format for the fans to watch.
Yes, it's
Nice.
just hard though. Like it's hey, look, there's variance. You could win 10 in a row versus a guy and not be better or worse, and who's to say? But really, like your point, doesn't matter. Are you a winning poker player when you go out to your home game, when you play in your tournament
Yeah.
field? Are you beating them, and are you winning? That's really what matters.
Anything over that, it's about your ego and the stuff you're creating expectation, which is gonna hurt you.
Yes,
If you don't have any expectation towards anything, like you cannot get hurt.
exactly. And here we are. So we have a question: are you currently married or dating someone? We've covered this. We know that. If so, what does your significant other think of you playing poker for a living?
Yeah, she is happy about that. She also does that.
She supports it. Yeah. So I think, I don't think you could
Yeah.
say
And
that Natalie's.
let me tell you one thing to be fair here. Uh, I'm only in this position in life right now with stuff going better, with stuff falling into place. It's because of this woman. You know, I would be a total mess if I didn't met this woman. I would be like mainly doing what I was doing. I was doing fine, saying about my work and everything else, but like the life shift, you know, things that matter, and the focus, and the everything. I learned so much from her every day, you know, and my life changed big time because of her. I can assume, and I can be 100% right about this, that I wouldn't be fulfilled in life. I wouldn't be happy in life if I didn't meet this woman. She's just like the best person I know.
That's amazing. And tell me, we kind of covered this, but I want to go over to a bit more your schedule. So you're in Europe. The schedule, let's say it starts around 2 p.m. Eastern is sort of the prime. That's like when the main events sort of start across the sites. Generally, like let's just take a Sunday. So that's already like what 8 p.m. your time. You
Yes.
stream. You're playing these. Like last Sunday. What time are you finishing give me a little bit of a look at your day when you stream, because now you're finishing what, at like 5 a.m. or
It
3,
really
4 a.m.
depends. Yes, sometimes as we spoke about the number of tables. Sometimes if there are like a big events or some nice events to be played late, I just start a little late.
Hmm.
Sometimes when I feel like grinding, I told you I made a setup for like 10 tables with the live hand viewer. So sometimes I start at the Chinese time, which is very early for me on GG because of the nice events they have at the Chinese time. So I just play a bunch of events throughout the day. And sometimes we do a 17, 18 hour stream. But it's fine. But
That's
most of the time, I'm starting the stream by like 7 p.m. and going until very, very, very late.
Well, yeah, it's that's pretty crazy. And so when
It's
you
hard
guys,
work, man. You know what? You know better than me.
yeah,
Streaming is consuming.
it is, and it's
Yeah,
a passion, and it's, like, yeah, you just, when you get into it, you get into it. If you're gonna do it and just put your time, you
yeah.
want to do it right and do it, go for it. I guess another part to that question I would ask is, how do you sort of set goals and balance? Because you want to spend time with your wife, you want to spend time with your daughter, your family. You stream. You're also very much in a business. You do coaching. You have a new website you're putting up. You're doing some stuff with that. You've got you manage relationships, you do business deals, you get sponsorships. So like you got a lot. How do you sort of find yourself time wise? Like, how do you find balance to do everything? Because that's something I've struggled and kind of always learned. And sort of, it's easy for one to get out of equilibrium very quickly if you're not paying attention to it. So how do you sort of manage that?
I have my health fitness coach and nutritional coach as well in my ass. The guy hates me right now. It's like I try to pretend. I don't even try to pretend that I got this figured out
Right.
because I don't. It's sometimes it's like my string goes far. Like for instance, I'm gonna go on Monday. On my training is early, right? Early for me is like early afternoon, okay? Because I play on Sunday until very late. So early afternoon is already tough, meaning that I'm going to sleep for 5, 6 hours. So uh, it was a huge, big stream this Sunday. We won the 10K. Then I got back to the stream after taking the delay off and spent another 3 hours talking with everybody. So I missed the training. I
Right.
wanted to go, but I missed the training. So I think the most important thing to have is planning. If you make your planning, you're gonna attend most of the. You wanna show up? We're live.
Sorry.
Come say hi. Come say hi. Come say hi. We're live.
Hello.
Hi, how are you?
We're just
I
talking
don't hear
about
him.
you. You don't hear him because it's here.
Tell her
Say
she's
hello.
gonna have to be on the show coming up as well. I need to.
You
I
need,
want
you
her
need to
more.
go. You need to go on the show soon. That's what he said.
Oh,
Nice. She said it's nice.
Awesome, very nice.
So I said, come give me a kiss.
nice.
Give a little beiju out there. Show a little abrazo, a beiju. Don't be shy.
And yeah, what I said is like you need to have a working plan. As long as you have a working plan, even if you miss a couple of times, you everything is under control.
Right.
You
Yeah.
know, that's
Yeah,
that's that's
true.
what I try to do. That's what I try to do.
Yeah, no, it's funny because it goes in waves too. Like it's as easy to do it as it's easy as to not. When you have a plan and you say, "All right, I'm going to do these times a week," and you set a time, and you have some accountability. But then if you just, there's times where I'll go a month or something with no workout. Basically, obviously I'm doing not nothing, but I'll walk or
Yeah.
do stuff or whatever. But like if I want to work out, set times and have accountability, you'll do it. If you don't, you won't. And
Yeah.
it's almost as easy because you can find that hour, you can find 40 minutes to do
The
it.
best thing is like if you find a place nearby which is like 24/7, you just hit the place whenever you can, for
Yeah.
exercises and stuff.
Yes.
And here at home, as I said, like the most amazing thing is that my wife is a wonderful cook, and she knows a lot about nutrition. She knows a lot about everything about this. So I'm always healthy because she's taking care of us
If
here.
you're not going to the gas station buying chips
Yeah,
in the
if
middle
I
of the
don't go
night.
to the gas station or to the shop to buy some bad stuff, as she is pointing out, which is true, that should be said. That
Well,
should
you
be
got
said.
you got to have some bad stuff to appreciate the good, right? You got to deviate a little
That's
bit
true.
once in a while. So
That's
that's
true.
I do. I see the Instagram. I know she knows her health, her smoothies, her she's got good stuff. I know you're in good shape when you're playing and streaming and being taken care of. That's very important.
Exactly.
It's super important, that kind of little stuff, and being able to do your best and focus and have
To
good
keep to
food,
keep
good
going,
sport.
yeah.
It's huge. We got another question here for why do you choose poker, not a football? I think they're saying why poker? Because people assume Brazil. Not everyone plays football or soccer, if you will,
Mhm.
American. But give us your favorite football player and favorite poker player.
Well, I'll say it like this. Uh, we all aim to be footballers, okay? I aim to be a footballer, that's for sure. When I was younger. And but like I found other passions. For instance, my passion with music was greater than football.
I had to
So
ask you
once
about
I
music.
had
That's on the list too. So please tell me while we're on it. I'm deviate a bit. You play guitar. You do some music stuff. Give me some of your music. How serious are you into music? Because I know you enjoy it a
I
lot.
used to. I was doing creating songs, right? Writing songs, and but that was actually taking a lot of my focus and time off from poker. I decided to focus 100% in poker, even though by past week we did a new song and it's probably gonna be played by the artist as well. But like I don't wanna to be really honest talk too much about that or spend or have too much effort to this because it's just a passion. It's something I love to do, something that makes me happy,
Right.
something that fulfills my soul, and I want to keep like that for now. Maybe in the near future, I will shift attentions and make that a priority, which is not today. So, but always loved football for sure too much. But then there was a point in my life I was playing, and then I was doing all right, but decided to have a band and to play music at that time when I was like 17, 18 year old. And that was actually the decision I had to make when I wanted to become a poker pro, because I used to have a band. We used to play 6 days in a week. So, and I was working in the bank, and I was in college. So I had no life for a period. And then actually I was leaving, but it means I had no time for anything.
Mhm.
But uh, at that point, whenever I graduated on college, I needed to decide if I want to spend that free time that I had from college now by doing music or by playing poker. And then I decided to play poker. And then we're here.
Right.
If I went the other way, probably could get successful, probably would work, but my greater passion in my life absolutely is poker. Poker is number one.
I love it. Give me your just off top of your head favorite football player, favorite poker player. Again, not best poker player, but one growing up or you saw on TV or you watched or you just really liked the way they whatever. Yeah, whatever that means to you.
All right, I would say that my favorite football player from all time is Cristiano Ronaldo.
Okay.
That's my favorite player, and I think he's very inspirational guy in a killer football player. I mean that I wish I know that we have the best football players in the world in Brazil. I'd like to name like at least five, right? But the person that touches me more, I think it's Cristiano. So I have to say his. We actually play Cristiano meme every day on my stream as well. Whenever we have pocket sevens, or a
You,
7 comes out.
you just go, yeah. That's well, it's always coming seven.
Yeah,
We know that from the famous
yeah,
clip at the PCA. Um, okay, and what about poker players? Like, who was like the, let's just say growing up or when you first got into it, you saw on TV, like who was the character or someone that you just like really really love to see?
yeah. My favorite poker player for a long time is Daniel Negreanu, because I started playing poker because of went to the professional path reading his stuff.
Mhm.
And there was actually a blog he wrote back in the day on the full contact poker
Yep.
that advising poker players, if you want to be a professional, you need to learn other poker variants. That was when I went to the Amazon website, bought all the books I could and everything. And it was early when I was learning how to play poker. So that's what got me a head start on PLO and mixer games and everything. So that was actually based on the article. And I think that's like 2 years ago or something like this. Poker Central found that article
Hmm.
that I was relating to over an interview I did with them, and that's why I think it's so important for the poker players to put good content out there, because you're really influencing people. So if I play all the games nowadays, that was huge impact in my life, because I moved to the cash games, I moved to the mixer games, and that was actually pretty much the reason I'm here. And healthy wise, about like bankroll, this kind of stuff.
Right.
So uh, I would say that Daniel was the guy that did that for me.
And what's your best game besides Hold'em? PLO? You play some good amount of PLO, or what other games do you like besides those? So, or
I
what's
would
your?
say I would say that PLO was probably my number one game, and I know that lately I have gotten a lot of success playing No Limit Hold'em, and including the high roller events, such as live, such as online. So that's good. I closed it up around that gap, and putting that on the same spot. Let's say, like for me at least, on the same level. But I love the mixed games. It's very hard to play the mixed games nowadays because there are not really many games running, especially online now during quarantine. Of course, we cannot play live right now, and even if we could play live, the games were always limited as always. And that's some sort of like appeal I make,
Mhm.
including to GG Poker and all other sites to develop more mixed games. That's good for the poker economy. That's good for the fun, because mixed games are the most fun variation of poker. I mean, I hear so many professionals on Twitter lately saying like poker is dead. I don't like poker anymore. Right? So many people saying about that. Of course they're wrong, but what I mean is PLO is a lot of fun.
Mhm.
Mixed games is a lot of fun. Learning a new game is a lot of fun. You know, and if we have more mixed games, we will have more happy players. That's for sure, because the games are fun, and it's really interesting to develop, to learn a new game, go through that process as well. So I wish the sites could have more mixed games, and anything I can do to help, I'm up.
That's awesome. Um, let's see. There's some interesting questions, but let's go to. Oh, someone's asking if they will you win money if they buy action in you? Are you going to win money? How can you answer that? I guess you're going to try your best, right?
Yeah.
You can't promise. It's hard to guarantee anything, but
No, but that's what's fun. What's fun is some people don't know, and I'm just talking about the GG staking tool. Uh, it's free, right? So there's no charges over that service, and that's something really nice, because you know what happens. Like you sell you sell shares, sometimes to people you know, sometimes to people you don't know, and
Right.
sometimes you don't get paid. Sometimes people say they're gonna send that to you, they don't, and it's a mess most of the time. Just say the truth.
Yeah.
And so whenever you can do that online, and people needs to pay you in advance, you have the money to buy into the tournaments. This is so nice, because the flow, it works perfectly. So only for that, it's an amazing tool. And second of all, I always pick this on my poker stream. Do not invest in my tournaments if you cannot afford to invest. Think about a bankroll you have so you can invest in several events. Then you're gonna make money. Okay? Then I guarantee you that we can go through variance. Anything can happen, but in the end, we're gonna win. We're gonna make money. But I'm telling you, if you pick up a small portion of events, anything can happen. You can lose your money. So be aware of the risks on staking.
Exactly right. I agree completely. Do you enjoy live play or online play more, and why? And take away COVID. Yeah, just say like previously, or just because live's not active.
Um, I think I've been always a live poker game. I was favored a live poker game because I'm a social guy. I like to speak. I like to have fun. I like to meet my friends. I like to have this experience more than sitting on a chair and playing online. That's the truth. But I rediscovered my love for online poker big time now, and especially with the live streams where I feel like I'm live and I'm the same place with all these people. So nowadays I have no preference. My preference was in the past to play live, and now I love both just as the same. Especially now there's like a snap can, you can send a video on the table as well. That's very fun, and you can actually have other people on stream if you want, right? Multiple, several people. So that closes the gap. And nowadays I love both the same.
I think it is hard to say. It's really hard because live's so unique and fun, but it's hard if you're streaming on Twitch. If you're a streamer, I think it's almost mandatory. Like no matter what, no matter how much you love live, how can you not? The interaction, the engagement, multiple tables, comfort your
Absolutely.
home as a dad as well. Because now it's hard to you talk about playing live poker, talking about minimum driving.
10 minutes.
Then
Yes,
there's
yes, yes.
the minimum is driving. Then there's flights or travel, hotel. Like now it's yeah. I don't see how there can be. Let's I know we got
Exactly. I understand that, and but I just had to say that I love the live environment so much, that to be honest and say that the online game is giving me the same emotions, the same experience right now. It's a huge thing, you
yes.
know. It's a huge thing. So that I wouldn't be playing online if I wasn't if I were streaming right now, because and that's the community has like 100% of the. I mean, I wouldn't be streaming. I wouldn't be playing online poker if I weren't streaming. So they have the biggest part on this. So I wouldn't be, to be honest, I wouldn't be like here online playing at home if I had a choice to play online. But if I'm streaming and I'm with them, yes, I'm up to do this. I'm up
Right.
to do this.
Do you have time for one or two more? You got to roll.
I have no. I have time. I was talking to my wife about something else. I have all the time in the world.
Okay, great. Well, let's do a few more because there are some great questions here.
Yeah,
What best
all of them.
motivate? I love it. Best motivational song for you? Is there a song you love, or you always play on stream, or if you
Yes.
just kind of want to get in the zone? What do you go with?
We have a lot of songs, a lot of beams in our live stream. Actually, we have a song. We love Bob Marley, right?
Okay.
As a figure, as an inspirational figure, and we have a song that I say that Bob Marley wrote for me.
Okay.
Okay,
Which is that one that speaks to you?
it's called Jamming,
Mm,
right?
Of course.
So it's a very beautiful, very nice and good vibe song. And when Bob Marley says jamming in Portuguese, it seems like he's saying Mojave.
Mm,
Saying Mojave, you say like jamming. It seems like he was picking my name,
that's
you know?
beautiful. All right.
So
Yeah.
every time we are on a run, we play the jamming song. We put the Bob Marley emote in the chat,
That's awesome. That,
jamming.
that,
And so that's one of our favorite songs. And the second one,
I love
it's
that.
a Brazilian samba song that every time we hit the final table, we play the song. Every time we hit the final table and we cash, we play the song. And it's a song about overcoming hard, difficult situations and having God as number one in your life.
That's amazing. That's so okay. And actually, speaking of that though, because this is sort of annoying in the last months that at least I've changed, and maybe I'm not doing it right. What about the DMCA? Because I have like a Twitch playlist for songs that are okay, but
Yes.
I've popped in streams and I see people playing regular music of artists, which seems like what of course you have Spotify, you want to play and stream why not or whatever. Like what? How does that work? Do you just are you going until in case you get a DMCA? Do you use like a regular playlist, or do you have special songs, or how does that work?
Yeah,
I'm
we
confused
had
with the rule, honestly.
me too. We had something running on the live stream is that you could exchange your Moja coins, which is
Mm,
our points in the
yeah.
channel, and request a song.
Mm,
So that was very popular. You could request also a karaoke song. Are you there? Can you hear me? Because we lost your camera. But I'm running the show. Don't worry, guys. I'm running the show. So I think Jeff is gonna come back real soon. The boss is gonna be back real soon. So we had this. I'm just gonna keep going. We had this situation with you could ask for a karaoke song so I could sing. I know it's really bad. And string cut. Jeff told me string is cut, so it's coming back. So we could sing this live, and now we can't anymore because of these rules that we cannot play songs from the original artist. So Jeff is back.
I think we're back. I lost.
Nice,
I
cool.
lost a. I don't know if it disconnected completely or I just whatever, but we're back. So sorry.
No
Sorry
worries.
about that.
So we're saying about the Twitch rules for the music for the
Okay.
songs that people could request a song or a karaoke song for me to sing along with them. Right? It was very
Okay.
fun. We had to stop doing that because of these rules of original songs you cannot play, whatever. Then we took this off from the stream right now, waiting for better situation because we don't want to go against any rules. And we're mostly playing uh, the remixes of the songs, which which are fine because they come from other independent artists. And but it just sucks because
Yeah.
like we it just sucks. And from time and whenever we hit the final table, we play the original song. I don't care. Whenever we ask for Bob Marley, we put Bob Marley on original. I don't care. But like we try to 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 respect the rules
As much as possible,
around
right?
that. Yeah.
Okay. Um, how some good questions. You did kind of cover how'd you get your bankroll? You were started playing cash games, right? That's sort of you built it. Personal life, we asked about that. How do you balance? What do you believe you would be doing if you were not playing poker? I always like to ask this to the poker.
Yeah, if I weren't playing poker, I would probably be doing still in the financial markets. I uh, I graduated and specialized in finance, and so this means I had authorization from as from the government to legally work with other people's money
Mhm.
and investments, loans, whatever. So I that was my passion for like 6 years in my life, and I used to do really well with them. And so I'll probably be there. I like to believe I'll probably gonna be some sort of like a manager, director, or something like this in the financial institution if I weren't playing poker, and doing music on the side. And maybe I would find my way to music anyways, and quitting the financial markets.
Very cool. Let's see. How do you stay always? Someone's saying how much they love your smile wasn't a question, just a compliment for you in Twitter. And then someone
Appreciate
also
that.
asking, what is the favorite Brazilian food? Give me your couple favorite go-tos for Brazilian food, because they got some special cuisine. I'm a big fan, but what's your favorite?
Exactly. It's really is difficult because like we have so many dishes, like so much stuff. To be honest, my favorite like Brazilian food is the acai bowl.
Not-
It's hard to top an acai bowl, to be honest.
It's true,
And
and a lot of people try. You see acai, especially in the U.S. It's gotten better,
yeah.
but it's nothing like a true. You go to the
No,
shops
it's not
and
the
it's
same.
not
I'm
the same.
sorry, it's
You go to
not
the,
the
it's
same.
not. It's not. You go to
No.
you're in the street.
I went to a acai spot here in Vienna. The first bite we had, my wife looked at my face and said, "I'm not eating this." That's what she said.
She knows it. She knows the real
Yeah,
stuff.
once you taste the real one, you can go back. It's tough.
Yes. Any
Plus,
new?
people put a lot of stuff in these things nowadays, like syrups and sugar and some other stuff it just make it bad.
Yeah, it's for sure. My wife sniffs it out right away. She can tell within a bite if it's legit or not. But it's a
Yeah,
true acai, like the ones in Rio, Sao Paulo, like the BBs or the bot, like those little shops in the corners that have them. And you just come in.
yeah,
Those I love.
they're good. But the top spot where the fruit comes from,
Yeah,
it's up in the north Brazil, up
like
north Brazil.
Fortaleza.
No, Belém,
Mainland. Okay.
Belém. So that's the spot for the acai.
Okay.
And most of the acai you eat in Rio or São Paulo, it comes from Belém, obviously. Comes from Belém. So those are very nice spots to eat.
Yeah, my Ghost of M Mark on the chat, who's one of my lead moderators, great guy. He says Joseph loves it too. That's my boy. That's my profile picture. Him with the acai all over his face. Just
Cool.
loves it. It's it is tasty. It's very tasty treat.
It's amazing, man. It's just like put some like cereal on top of it, maybe
Mm,
some fruits, really
yes,
nice with bananas, strawberries,
so
blueberries.
good.
Like,
You, it really it's a treat. It's a little bit fattening, I think,
yeah,
but it's overall not bad for you. I think if in moderation, but it's easy if you eat it every day. You can gain a lot of calories. It lets a lot of calories.
yeah. It depends on your lifestyle. It depends on what you're doing. Like I can eat an acai bowl per day
Yeah,
easily,
for
an
sure.
acai bowl per day. But like if you're sedentary, you shouldn't be eating that much for sure because it's high in calories.
Yes. We have a question here about I don't know what this is in reference to, but Andre Nemeth Pro Beers. Andres is overrated. I guess someone's asking why did you say that? I don't even know what that means. Did that come out?
This is like a stupid comment only
Me this is
because it's
yeah.
something that happens over the stream where you get the best players in the world and the most successful poker players as Andres,
Mhm.
and sometimes doing bad play.
Mm,
And that's just normal because guys just playing like a terrific amount of tables, or sometimes you call a hand you shouldn't, and that's what happened.
yeah.
Like call a hand that he shouldn't, he won the hand, and then we made comments about, but that's normal. It's nothing against the guy, actually, absolutely nothing against the guy. And normally, people that makes these comments are people that are looking for some
Yeah.
stupid thing
They want to
to
cause some
comment,
drama or
and
some
yeah,
kind of something.
exactly.
That's what
There's
I figure. I mean,
nothing
obviously he's a
against.
great player. I didn't even know I don't know what
Yeah,
he's talking about. So it must be from some like little random specific thing or hand. No worries. what did you use to learn the most about poker? Training program, other tools? What do you do nowadays to work on your game, study, and what do you think is the best way to improve quickly?
Well, as we're in the game for a long time now, we've seen this wave of softwares and etc. I mean, I don't think I actually made a post yesterday about this. If you want me, it's still on my stories right
Mhm.
now. I'm not gonna just read you to you what I said. I said like I played a hand. See,
Is that
go
it?
go there. See, that was the next one, the last one.
This?
Next. Yeah, this one. See,
Mm-hmm.
like I played a hand over the final table of this 10K on Sunday, where was like a super controversial hand. There's a Twitch clip as well if you want to see where I make a enormous fold in the three-handed with nines as an overpair versus the big blind, right? And I
Like
think
pre-flop or what?
on the it's on the turn. The action is on the turn because the action is like a. If you want to show the clip, the hand is amazing. Actually, the hand is very amazing. And
Do you
oh,
have
actually, go back on my Instagram. First one. Go on Instagram. Yeah, first one here. No, first feed post.
this one? No,
First feed
this
on the pictures. Over the pictures.
Oh, okay. Hold on.
The first picture, last picture. Yes, this one. See, watch the hand. It's like a hand. I open the button. The guy defends. This is a high wet board. Okay.
I already see. I could see if you get check raise. It's kind of sick because if you the check raises, you block the straight draws, and you have a flush card. But all right, so bet call, pretty standard.
Yeah. So I decide to bet the turn, and I go for a big bet.
Yeah.
On the turn. And this is what happens.
He rips it.
Ooh. Yeah. So my situation here, as I ask people, I put the clip on mute, right? And I ask people, in the absolute silence, can you feel the pain? Because it is painful, right? It's a situation where your opponent can be bluffing normally, semi-bluffing.
Yeah.
On the spot, you could be beat. If you beat, you just beat there, you know?
Yeah, it's sick. And like best case, he's going to have like a combo draw, like 6 with the pair or 6 with the heart draw somehow or whatever, you know. And yeah,
that's what I thought. Mm-hmm. So if you run this hand over a solver or over something, you'll mostly find a call. Okay, you mostly find a call in this point. Mm-hmm. So that's what I told to people. In my opinion, poker is not all about math. Okay, so I think that poker is half the way through math and half the way through human beings, you know, and adaptation and knowing what your opponent is doing. You know, sometimes you don't even take the most profit line.
Yeah, exploitatively. There's a ton of stuff there. It's tricky. It's not so easy. That's actually a perfect example of where you're like, man, I wish I wasn't live because let's say you're gonna fold, you have the reasons to fold. The guy's gonna just be a little more normally weighted towards value than whatever, but you just know you're gonna get just crushed. The chat's gonna lose their shit. So you got to sit there and finish out a tournament while people are going nuts, like you're so tight or this or that. When like in reality it doesn't matter. And luckily you win, so it's like all right, that's everyone looking at. You know, if you get third, you're gonna think like that. You're gonna have to deal with that, whether or not it was right or not. You're gonna have to hear it really big time. When you win, you're a genius. So that's good, but it's very tough. There's definitely times where I've been in spots where like and I've made huge folds. I've checked back nut flushes when guys have had straight flushes, or I've checked back top boat where someone had a straight flush, and it looked, and because when you're wrong, you look so
I've
stupid.
done that too.
But when you're right, you're like a genius, and if you just believe it, you believe it. But like, it's funny because it's difficult. There is that added pressure and stress on Twitch.
I say that on stream. I say that on stream like this. This hand, if I'm right, you guys gonna say I'm the best poker player in the world. And this hand, if I'm wrong, you guys gonna say I'm the worst poker player in the world. So like that cannot be it in any of the situations. If I'm right, I'm not the best. If I'm wrong, I'm not the worst. Because that's just another poker hand from millions of poker hands I'm playing.
Right.
So as a consistent good player, that's what's gonna take me there. That's what's gonna take me there. But that hand was very controversial, where people were saying, you see, even the voting, people opted for the call, most of it.
Pretty split, but yeah.
Pretty split, most of it. During the live live stream, there were more callers there, but it actually doesn't matter because I'm following my beliefs. I'm following what I know and what I understand from the poker situation, which is the math, the GTO, the this side of poker, and understanding the spots I'm in, the experience I have, the opponent I'm facing, and his tendencies. This is equally important, and sometimes it's way more important.
It's also, there's a bit of game flow too with other things you came and put in. You were shortest stack.
Exactly.
You were set on the bubble, shortest stack at the final table. You're in control. You're kind of chipping up. You're feeling good. Now you're like dead even. If you fold, it's still going. Even if you got a combo draw and you get knocked out, there's huge pay jump. So ICM is very relevant in that spot. Like all of the above is, there's a lot of factors.
But that's what I'm saying. That situation, that spot, if you run over the solver, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
It's the biggest bounty on the internet. So the ICM spot is actually telling me to call the ICM spot.
Yeah.
Because I have a huge advantage if I make chips, and I can bust the guy that has way more bounties than me, where the prize pool it has flattened out on the top three because we're three-handed.
For the bounty.
So that's what I'm saying. If I go for the GTO kind of play,
exactly.
Right there, you know,
right.
I will do the wrong play, and that's sounds ambiguous, right? It sounds wrong when you say it like this, but it's correct,
right?
Because like you have information, such as the other day, I open sessions sometimes to play high stakes PLO. I play high stakes PLO live, right? I'm sorry, you can show up to my chat. I'm being the most humble possible, but also realistic. I play this game, okay? I'm not listening to the chatters. I'm not listening to these people that going there and saying that I should have called, I should have folded. You know, I'm the guy playing that game. If you want to do this, okay, why don't you play yourself? Why don't you open your stream yourself? Why don't you make the money if you're that good?
Right.
You know?
Yeah, no, I mean that's the fun. That's kind of the fun, and that's sort of the reason too. And that's also, it's good to learn, because actually when you plug that hand in and you do look at the actual result solver, put all the stuff in, it might be like, oh, it's interesting because nines is maybe more of a call than tens because you're blocking the 9-6 or like certain little things you may not know, or like a spot like that. It would be very interesting to see what a solver says. But like the exploitative stuff, there's exploitatives a huge part of poker, and that's what the best players do. They know the right play. You probably know in your head the book says call, or it's close, but like it's probably a call. But like the other reasons that choose you to do differently.
And sometimes you have a so big advantage in the game. Sometimes you think you have so big advantage in the game. You don't go for the small ICM spots, the small money spots.
Right.
You know,
you fold ace queen off in a spot for a big shove because you're like, you know what? I'm making 0.5%, 1%, 2% there. Yeah. And for me, I know I can get in. I can get a better read. I can get into a better situation with the stack I have, and the experience I have as well, playing three-hander or playing heads up, which is also a variant I play a lot. Very, very true. I love it. That's a great example, and great to see that. It would be nice to know what the guy actually had. You know, maybe if you know the guy, I don't know who it was, or if you could get the answer later.
You want to know the good news?
You know
he had it. He had it.
Oh wow.
He had it. Okay. So there was one of the most difficult folds I ever made, like from the year for sure. And he had it. And what happened is we this is the guy that had 120 blinds. I had 10 blinds, 9 blinds. And then we get to heads up. Okay. We got even in chips. He has like one blind more than me, one big blind more than me, 0.7 more than me.
Mm-hmm.
And he check raises me all in for the winning hand as a bluff. And I had trips on a straight 3 spade cards.
Mm-hmm.
So it was like I took my whole time bank to make the decision, and I folded the one that was wrong, and I called the one that was right, so I won the tournament. So
that's sick.
Say what you want.
That's awesome. That is awesome. The
I punted so many times, just to be wrong. I punted so many times in this spot. Like I punted for a lot of money, so many times. We talked about the other day that I bluffed the chip. I'm second in chips. $1 million for this is a party tournament, the Party Millions in Punta Cana. We are the main event final table. I'm second in chips. Okay, it's $1 million for first place. I'm second in chips, and I suddenly had the idea I'm gonna bluff the chip leader.
Mm-hmm. No,
it didn't work that well for me, you know.
I've done it too. I've done uncharacteristic things like that too. Okay. It's like you want to make a move, you're whatever. I have horror stories, like one that I'll never forget. Yeah. Big buy-in, big punt. Like these are part of the learning, though. It's also part of it's also not necessarily wrong because something doesn't work. It's like maybe it would be a great player, it should work, and you gotta be careful not to be results oriented. And I think that's a very tricky thing in poker, to be when you're winning and you're not maybe playing well. Can be deceitful, and when you're playing well and losing, it's important to stay balanced and be realistic and understand equities and understand if your money's getting in good, if you're getting in bad, if you're getting too short and you're getting all in and then losing, it's a big difference, So these are it's part of the process, and it's why when you're in a zone, you're playing a lot, good things kind of happen. When you're sort of ingrained in it, you're studying and you're working for.
And there's one thing that I always make fun of. It's like people that show up on stream, like the chat pros, as we say, the chat pros.
Mm-hmm.
They always have a funny thing to say, which is a word, and this word is never. They love the never word so much. Like you in a spot. Oh, look what happened the other day. We're playing a hand. I have like ace high on the river. A ridiculous spot to call ace high. I take my time and I'm reading the chat. People are saying he has never a bluff here. Never. All the time, the words never. And I think it's a good call. That call, I'm going for the GTO freaking spot. I think it's good if I win. I calculate I had like whatever, 1.5 under, whatever. And I mean that was after, obviously. And I thought at the moment, that was advantageous spot for me, anyways. And I wanted to take the risk. If I make the chips, I'm gonna win the tournament, whatever. And against all the people saying never, I made a call and I was right. So people that put never also in the situation, they don't understand how poker works. You just need to cut that word off if you want to be a good poker player, because we play probabilities. There's always a probability your opponent's going to have or not going to have. Right. The never word, you just need to cut off.
Yes, that's a good thing. I think in general in life, right? Like nothing's 0 or 100, literally. Like nothing is 0 or 100% at any moment. So that's a good way to sort of think about things, and definitely in poker. All right, let's take a couple more here. Do you believe in luck?
It's a tough question because the answer is yes and no. So the answer no first. I don't believe in luck because poker is a game of probability, which means that you can get unlucky as much as possible, you know, for a period of time. If you're a good player, after 10 years, you're a winner, right? So there's luck in the short term for everything. There's luck in the short term for everything. Like if you watch a soccer game, you know, the worst team is gonna beat the best team a good portion of the time.
Right.
You know, a good portion of the time.
Well, look, I
But
mean,
if
look
they
at
play
Leicester
against each
City.
other,
Leicester City was 5,000 to 1 to win the Premiership. That means in 5,000 years of playing,
absolutely.
they only win one time. They're saying
How
that.
can you call that? How can you say that? So how can you call those people lucky? Those people work their ass off to win the championship. How can you take the merit of a person, you know, that gets there and say that the person is lucky? You know, you never look at the other side. This is disrespectful to get started. You know, so I do not believe in such thing as luck. To be honest, I think that people get what they deserve. And if you don't get this now and you think you deserve, you just got to be resilient and keep going. Then
Right.
you're going to make it. Then you're going to get there.
Yeah.
So, but in the short term, anything could be going anyway, you know, in the short term. So it's just like I make a comparison in my training of winning a poker hand, then hitting a free kick, you know,
Mhm.
a penalty kick.
Mhm.
I think there's more luck involved if you want to talk about luck, okay, in a free kick, in a penalty kick, than playing winning a poker hand most of the time, because your probability will be higher of making that successful than the soccer player to score the penalty kick, right? Like to just say like by the way, you're all in with aces and you know that your random equity it's like 85%, right? Of winning with the hand. What's the percentage of a guy scoring a penalty kick? Is probably the best player in the world. Is probably going to score what 75% of them.
Maybe maybe like 85, but I think it depends. Like a penalty kick, the best players,
You
but yeah,
get
yeah,
we looked into it.
yeah.
We have all the stats, you know.
Is
We
it
dig deep. We
75%
like to
of penalty
study.
kicks? 3 out of 4?
Some, yeah, somewhere around this.
But that's
So
not the best player. That's the average, maybe a penalty
the
kick.
there exactly.
Not like Ronaldo or Neymar or Messi are going to probably score 9 out of 10.
Yeah. I mean,
But you're right. I get what you're saying. It's equatable. It's equatable. Like it's not
what I
a
mean.
guarantee.
So if you look at other sports, that's why I think poker is the sport. Actually, poker should be the mother of sports. Should be on top of the sports because it actually mixes up everything you need to master. You know,
Right.
like how can I make streams and play poker every freaking day for like 2 months if I'm not in shape? I bet nobody can do that if you're out of shape. I bet nobody can do that successfully if you're out of shape. So why not the physical sport as well? If you choose to play those long hours, the physical sports, you know.
Right. Yeah, that's a great point. I think I think I mean to me that's why poker's such a metaphor of life and everything. It really you can equate and take so many lessons and situations, and it helps you understand statistics, odds, chance, dealing with lows, dealing with highs. Like it's just so many great things that poker does. So
The probability of losing, it's what people call luck in the game. And there's always a probability of losing. So you know if you're getting 5 times with faces in the same tournament, you're gonna bust one time, you're gonna lose one time at least. You know that's what math says. So when you lose the hand, you're not unlucky. You know, but I try to give that information away the best as I can for people that are studying the game, you know, so they can keep going, they can keep having fun with the game. They don't think that the world is against them. Most of the people they think the world is against them. They cannot win because they're unlucky. And when you go look at the stats of somebody you train, That happened to me the other day. The guy said, I cannot win my aces. When I run the stats, the guy is over the average winning with aces. So I say,
Yeah, it's very mental, and that does bring to a important question here, and we'll do one more after this. But it says, "GG Philippe, how do you manage tilt? Do you ever tilt? You look so happy all the time." So that's a great compliment. That's great feedback for you. That's the goal, to be that way and to give that off. But how do you deal with it? Because there are times, and on Twitch you can't run away. You're there. You're losing every all in. You're down seven buy-ins for the day. You got one screen left and it's the smallest buy-in, and you're sitting there and you got to just sit and smile and play your best. How do you deal with that? And then how do you kind of manage tilt and when things aren't going well?
well, I'm human as a human can be. Okay. And also Brazilian, which means like I'm double human, if you know what I mean. so I'm pretty okay with my feelings inside.
Mm-hmm.
This means that if I understand what I'm doing, whatever I put out, it doesn't mean anything because inside I know what's happening. So if I complain about a bad beat, if I talk shit about something, inside I have this figured out. So that's the goal I achieved. So like if I of course this energy will get to you. We're made of energies,
Mm-hmm.
right? So if you're in a bad if you're having like a bad week and you open a session is not going your way, you're more likely to tilt somehow, you know. Some people they lose their minds or they like to speak or talk trash about other people like Phil Hellmuth style or whatever, right? It's just part of who they are. I think that the most important thing you need to understand about tilt is understand about what you're doing and understand who you are. So if you have that combo going, there's never a tilt
Right.
because you just put stuff out, which is very important to put stuff out and being genuine. I think that that's what I do for not tilting because it makes me reset really fast for the next situation that's coming. So instead of denying, I put it out, I talk about it, I say I'm happy about it and whatever, and I just be myself. That makes me refocus real quick for the next challenge, and that's what makes me a consistent player.
Right. And do you give me to sort of the last question I want to ask you about preparation for live and online. So give me a look during, let's just take a Twitch stream day. Obviously every day isn't going to be the same with life. Things happen, in a dream world, you wake up, you have a routine, but like, give me a little bit of a preparation for talk me through, like, do you go through the lobbies, look at what you're going to play for the day? Do you have your food set out breaks? Do you try to go to the gym before? Like, what's your ideal? Give me your ideal Twitch stream sort of preparation and mindset going in.
Every end of stream, when we're offline, we plan the next days every day. So every day we come in, we already prepared the day. We know how our schedule will look like. We're probably registered to those events already. And I know exactly how much time I'm going to have to do my exercises, to study, to take care of my daughter, to do stuff I need to do, to attend other people, to coach, to whatever. So I think that I call this a mini routine. And
Right.
this is something I like to, so the first things I say over my training, over my coaching, for people to have mini routines, which means they always know what to attack. They always know what's happening, what's going on. They're always in control of things. So, for instance, today I knew I was going to be here with you on the podcast. So I cleared my schedule because I knew the talk was going to be so good, so nice. And then I don't want to interrupt this. So I have nothing coming after this. So if I had something like after this, like with a time, schedule, that will be bad.
Yeah.
Okay, for me. So, but as the same thing as when I'm playing, when I'm gonna play, I don't put an end to it. I don't put a finish line for
Mm.
it, because if I think I'm going doing well, I'm gonna keep my cash game session. I'm gonna keep my tournament session. I think I'm gonna go further. I don't want to limit
Yeah.
myself.
It's
But
exactly, it's tricky. I think that's a great point too about live and things too, because if you start planning, or I know a lot of people will book a ticket and they're like, all right, the tournament's on starts Monday or whatever, maybe it starts Friday, and then I'll book a ticket for Monday morning or for Sunday, and if I'm still in, I'll change it. But like, so there's sort of that subconscious, like you might have like 15, and I've done it. I've done it in big spots. I have stuff I'm not even proud of where it's like I know I have another event or something kind of going on, and I'm like, all right, you know what? Here, instead of like min raising ace jack for 17 blinds under the gun with 17 left in a WPT, I'm gonna rip it, or something where like I wouldn't maybe normally do it, but I know that there's another some, and so it's like subconsciously you're not completely there, and it's very difficult to overcome or to make that work when you're not
yeah,
fully committed present to or
basically,
at a tournament. You start looking at other side events. All right, well, I'm playing the main. What's today at 4 o'clock? There's this. Well, I like PLO. I'll play a little crazy. Like this is, and I think like so many people do it. I've, it's just so crazy. And I think that
especially the pros,
yeah,
especially the pros.
yes,
It takes anything that you spending your energy on your subconscious. Okay, it takes from your body. This is like science.
mm-hmm.
Okay, it's science. So I've studied a lot lately about hypnotherapy. I went to a course. I actually a hypnotherapist myself nowadays, so I can attend people and everything. I wanted to go through that so I could understand better, put inside my game, put inside my life, so I can see if that works for me, so I can help other people as well. I attend some people with hypnotherapy nowadays, or not an uh, eh, uh, I mean, some friends, some other people that I coach. So I like to change this mentality, because I think that's very important. If you're wasting your energy with something that could happen, or actually normally for the worst, that will damage your present time,
Right,
and what you're doing right now, big time. You're not going to achieve the same results you could be achieving for who
yes,
you are, and for the skill you have. So try to spend your energy at that moment. So like the example you gave about buying the flights for them to be before the end of the event, this is just the one of the worst things you can do, in my opinion,
right.
right?
I'd love to see a
So
stat on that. The people that do that versus the don't. Like that would be fun to see the tracker on those
because
guys.
there's a big effect, you know, of that situation in the energy you have, and the energy you put into things, because you're already taking other things you should be taking in consideration at that present moment. Well, that being said, also the example you gave about the hand, and the example you gave about planning other events, it's also very detrimental, also very bad, because when you're thinking about what to play and you don't spend all the energy you have on what you're playing, right? That will probably make you do different decisions, and worse decisions at that given moment, than if you had your 100% of focus in there.
Right,
And that's why people, where that comes from, all my training and people are coaching and all this stuff. It's like people are running, sometimes they're coaching like a pro, and this pro is going for like the ranking of something, going for a ranking. And then this person says like, I'm just gonna play this for and that for the ranking. I say like, you don't even need to think about a ranking, to be honest. Just do your best every event you play. When you look at the ranks, right, you're gonna be on the top spot if you're doing your best. You're gonna be already there on the top spot. It's totally different if you are towards the end of something and you need a strategy to
right.
hit something. That's different. You know.
Yes, I we're aligned a lot, and I think that's also somewhere where the game's so tough these days. That's somewhere you can always improve is your mental preparation. Like there's Sundays where I'll roll out of bed and go live. There's Sundays where I'm up, I'm kind of doing a little workout meditation. I got my stuff laid out. I know everything is crazy, but like it's something you literally can do better. And if you think about the highest athletes, you know, their preparation into a game, the staff, the people they have helping during a game, you know, it's high level stuff. If you're just kind of going about it, it's guys are doing it. Guys, girls are doing it. People are playing their best. It's easy. That's an area you can really improve on. Everyone. That's
something we did a couple of times already over my poker stream. It's like, the other day we had some trouble with the software. Mm-hmm. So the games were down, right, for a moment. So we really don't know what happened. So, but what can I do? I need to wait for this to come back. That's all I can do. If I get stressed about it, it's only going to harm me. So people show up on my stream and they're complaining and they're attacking and they're saying bad stuff and they're like asking for information. All that I could do, and I say this is the best for us to do. Let's do a group meditation right now. We just did a group meditation over the stream. Mm-hmm. And whenever the situation was back, we're in place. We're ready to play. We're not stressed. No, we're not gonna punch.
Right.
We're not gonna. You know what I mean.
It's also something like when you take a bad beat, let's just say ace king to ace queen, you're in a tournament, it's all in, it's pretty standard. It looks so dramatic, but it's 70, whatever percent, 73, 27, it's 70, 30. That stuff's going to happen. It's like, I think a nice way is if you have like an emote or a thing where it's basically like the chat acknowledges like, look, you got unlucky. You're playing well, shake it off. If it's like you start going, you want to play the replay, you want to talk about it, you're like getting upset or like, man, and then all of a sudden it can really unwind things. And like, if you just take it in a way where it's like, all right, it's part of the game. I'm going to get lucky today too. Let's move on. And people react well to that. They see that. They're like, wow, he handled that really well. Like, that's good. I'd like to do that. Instead of people tell bad beat stories and like all this negative kind of energy. It's like, if you can be a net positive, I think they really do. It goes a long way because people get to see how people react, and people want to see you. Some people want to see you unwind and lose it and throw a tantrum, and other people are like, wow, that's great. And I wish I could do that. And I will do that. So, you have a opportunity to sort of be a great example for people.
And that's probably very underrated, but it's so important for people to see that when you have that kind of behavior, because you're going to impact so many people watching your stream. And when you have that good of behavior, you teach them, you know, you show people how it's done and how they should be taking that situation in consideration. So as that's what I tell people about idols and sports in general. I mean, most of the people, the footballers I like, right? I want them on my team. If I'm a coach, if I'm my team, I want them on my team. I don't want these people hanging out to my house or being friends with me or something else, because that's totally different. Mm-hmm. Some people are good people, idols, good players. Some other people are only good players. Mm-hmm. So you need to that has a direct impact of who you are, the people you idolize, the people you like, you look up to them. I talked there about many times about this, but like having the models of the life and the roles of the life you want to have. It's the same thing as social media. You going checking social media and you just follow like a garbage profiles, stuff that's not gonna add up anything to your life. That's you. That's you becoming not productive at all. You want to be that, and that goes away from your essence. But that happened to me. That happened to me in the past. I had like a very successful whatever Facebook page. We freaking delete that because I was actually very proud, very not much proud of what I was doing, what I
Mhm.
was posting about, the stuff I was cultivating, and etc. The message I was sending out to people, right? So then started from scratch, only sending stuff I want, only being who I am and stuff, and it's going well.
That's amazing. Well, I love it. I love what you do. I love the message you send. I'm a big advocate, guys. Again, you got a lot of ways you can follow along: Twitch, YouTube, uh, Instagram, Twitter, and always rooting for you. Always happy to see you succeed and keep to build the game. And I think we covered an absolute ton. Today as one of the record length podcasts, also one of the most engagements. Love to see it. Love to see everyone go on and interact with this. So again, thank you so much. And we hope we got to most of them. I don't know if we got to all of them, but we will be giving away a $55 ticket. I'm going to copy and we're going to paste, and someone's going to win this ticket on, we'll let you count it down here. Hopefully they spin the 55 into the dream. Also, I got a question, last one here live. Do you offer scheduled coaching?
Well, the thing is, like, I'm just gonna keep this down to earth. I opened this, okay? I got so many replies, so many sign up because, like, maybe I was cheap or whatever, that I can attend people up to 2022.
Okay.
That's true.
Yeah.
So mainly there's a list, and this list is packed. So what did I do? I decided to open group coachings for less, very, very, very cheap, so I can help the most people I can. Okay. So that's the new project that's coming up with this new website, which is called Poker Lifestyle.
Mhm.
So make sure to access this pokerlifestyle.com.br. That will be on that page soon. And for inquiries, okay, for training and coaching, you guys can direct message me over Twitter or over Instagram. Because one thing that I did, it's like I was helping and working with people that probably needed the most. That's why I put these people on top of the list. There's some people I coach for several years, and we're doing fine. We're doing great. We're getting better. So there's no new spots.
Right.
So that's the thing now. But if you're interested, that'll be my pleasure to talk to you. That'll be my pleasure to put on the list and understand and talk about it.
Awesome. Great to hear. And then I see one more question just asking about which poker pro is the best at football. He's through asking, do you know any players? Have you seen any players, any Brazilians that are like especially talented that that are poker players and also maybe used to play football professionally? Or is there anyone that's like really, really good that you've seen?
Yo, I'll say that uh, we're talking the other way, right? A poker player, which was a footballer or plays football, right? Not a footballer that plays poker,
Right. Poker
right?
player that likes to play football, not a
Okay,
player. Yeah.
yeah. I have a friend Armando from Nicaragua, now Paraguay. He's a very good football player, and now he plays poker for a living. He only plays poker, and he's a really good football player. And some people know this guy. He likes to play high stakes tournaments, plays online, plays PLO, plays everything. And I think that uh, it's like, for me, for instance, I decided not to play anymore because I'm too competitive. What
Mm,
happened to me is, like, I got a surgery over my knee because I was getting into football so much. Okay, that I was playing two 40-minute games, two 80-minute games, a week, because I got too much excited playing these amateur championships and this kind of stuff,
mhm.
and that wasn't good for me for what I do right now. It's
Right.
way better for me if I go to the gym, if I play some once a week or twice a week shorter games, if I go golfing or swimming, that's a better exercise for me nowadays. But I simply love the game. I wanted to play more, but I can't because sometimes I just like too much time off, like 15 days, 3 weeks off, and then it's hard to catch up,
Right.
right?
Yeah,
Like I
I'm
remember
with you
growing
too.
up,
I get so into it. If it's like it's either it's hard to just dive in for, you kind of go and you can get caught into a we were past our prime. It's not I'm not chasing the
yeah,
greenest of titles. It's fun, but it's good. I
I,
like to do the Vegas World Cup each summer with the countries. You
you know
should.
what I like to do? I like to do the exercises related to football. Like
Mm,
go, you do the
yeah.
training, that's very healthy. You kick some balls, you play just passes like exercises. This is really cool.
Yeah, I agree with that. All right, well let's pay this forward. Let's put a $55 ticket in someone. Make sure we get everyone eligible here. We're gonna grab the most recent link over 100 plus eligible here for this. So good luck, about 1% chance. There's luck. Here's where luck does come involved. Someone's gonna get
That
this ticket. You tell me when you got the RNG on your command. We're gonna run it.
that's awesome. That's what I say about contributing. Like a lot of people will start playing poker from there.
Yes.
People that will play some tournament that they'll never be playing. And we went this so many times in our poker careers that so many people already pros. It started from this. That's why I charge a lot the other pros. I say if you want to be a player only and you only take it from the
Mhm.
market, you don't give it, you know you try to do something,
Yes.
try to do something, because people are inspired by you, especially these big crushers, if people are inspired by you, do something, help the community. That's why I was doing like the compliments earlier over my stream, like to guys like you and to Ben CB, because I think this is necessary in our community. Help people out.
Yes. Well, let's do it. I cut out for a second. I don't know if you had clicked yes, but I got it teed up. So you tell me when I'm going to roll it and someone's going to win a 55 ticket. You just say the word.
Go.
Boom. Here it is. It's loading up. A lot of people. It's got to populate. Let's see who gets it. Been some new winners recently. Let's see who that's going to be. And ultimately, again, and there's not a lot of people that I think it's unique as well what you do. Myself in this is that a lot of the guys on Twitch that have had success are. Oh, here it goes. Let's see who it is first before we go. We got Roland won. Let's see if it's I don't think they've won before. Yep, they haven't. So we'll make sure we message them. Congrats to him. We'll get the winner here. I'm gonna get the info. But I was gonna say, not a lot of people have the experience where you have over 2.6 million in live tournament earnings. There's not a lot of people that have millions of dollars in live earnings that are also streaming consistently. And I think that's nice that you bring that both arenas. You see some of the top streamers, they may not have more than 50 or 100K or 20K in live earnings, which isn't not a big deal. But when you kind of have that versatility, you get to really not only people ask you what's it like to play live, or I'm going to play live. Give me, you can really speak on it, and that's
I appreciate it. Thank you very much
yeah,
for the compliment. But in my point of view, I don't really look at this. I'm just like the same guy as somebody else that has no result there. Because my choice most of the time, when I had the opportunity to play a tournament, my choice most of the time was to play a cash game.
right,
My choice most of the time was not to play online, for instance. So now that people like, because of this result, people are saying like, you cash like now $1 million online, whatever, blah blah blah. I don't even know. I don't even know. I don't even know. I just know because there's on something like whatever on GG, you click, there's number that shows up or whatever you cash. That's how I know. I track my results twice a year. I input my results every day.
right.
It doesn't matter if I crush all the tournaments this week. It's not going to change my schedule for the month. It's not going to change anything in my life. I'm going to keep on playing poker. And plus, about the situation when we talk about I mean doing the giveaways and helping people out, this is like for me. I like to be doing this and doing this every time more and helping more people out because we need to strengthen the poker economy. You know how we do that? Bringing new players, right?
Yes.
Bringing new players. So I like to do that. I think that's important. We gave away in our stream hundreds of thousands already. Okay, it's not like as yourself.
Right. Yeah, actually, I
No,
was doing it. I asked my Ghost of M, who's in the chat here. I was trying to estimate, and I want to start keeping track just to have a little better idea. But it's for sure 6 figures of tickets or giveaways or percentages of
way,
tournaments. And
yeah,
yeah,
six figures,
it's abundant.
big 6 figures for sure. My stream, we lost count already. We count in apartments now. People make fun. How many apartments did we give away? Because that's something we can do.
Yeah.
That's something we can do. That's something I can do from share of my winnings. There's something I can go after. We can go after my sponsor. We can go after your sponsor. We can grab stuff for the community, not only for us.
Yes.
So how many times I had an opportunity that a sponsor comes to me like, "Oh, you're gonna play this, this, and that." I say, "No, I'm gonna play this and that. We're gonna give away for the people." So like, we have the power to do that, and the most people we help, we're helping ourselves because
Right.
this is our game, and we need to protect our game.
I love it. I love it. That's a great way to wrap up. Again, much love to you, your family, and respect. And I know we'll cross paths again. Hopefully, the world
Yes.
gets a little more in order and things calm down and be at a live stop or just that in general when we cross paths. But again, always a pleasure. I appreciate it. Thank you so much for the time and best of luck. I'll be checking out your stream and your content and we'll, again, our children will be playing soon. Let's hope very soon. So
I just hope we don't get back to normal because normal was fucked up. We need a better life. We need to come back stronger from this and understanding better of the issues and the situations we're facing.
that's very true. I again, it seems like it, again, negatives, but you can usually take positive and hopefully with this time where people, the creative, the best minds in our world are at home, they get extra time to do whatever they love and what's good for the world. And hopefully we, a lot of practices and just thinking and people have time to sit back, reflect and be a better version of themselves and find ways to help others. And I hope that we all are able to do that. So, I can say that's a great way to put it. I appreciate it. Thank you so much. And tell Natalie she's got to be on. So be ready. She's gonna have to carve out a day in the coming weeks.
Absolute pleasure. Thank you very much, my friend. All the blessings to you and your family, and everybody that is watching this. Thank you very much as well for hanging out with us. Natalie will be knowing the message will be sent.
Yes.
And soon we are together to have a play date with the little ones.
I love it. I love it. I love it, man. I can't wait so much. Thank you for the time, bro. Have a great day. Cheers.
Ciao.
Bye. All right, guys. That's Felipe Mojave Ramos. You can follow him on all the socials. Again, he streams. Great guy, great player. Best of luck. That's 95 in the book. We got 96 podcasts tomorrow. Valdemar, the owner, founder, Check the Side. Very cool program. I hope you checked it out. And we got some big podcasts next week. Closing in on 100. And I will see you all tomorrow and actually streaming. I didn't book a stream because as Felipe said, I wanted to let this is a 3-hour plus stream of absolute joy and I really enjoy the conversation, but I will be going live in a bit to play a bit today. Some days you got to just go for it. I'm in the matrix and we'll see you guys on Twitch later and on a podcast tomorrow. So cheers.